figure out how to get, oh, I should just turn around. There. So what was the question, the riddle?
Okay, what is the difference between someone who's successful and someone who's not successful?
If you're not successful, you just suck.
That's probably better than mine. My answer was one question.
Man, so what if you made it a game like, what's the one question I should be asking right now? Like for everything. It's like, I'm not where I want to be, or like I want to make something better or change some things. Like, what's the one question that's the right question to ask?
I hate that idea. No, I'm kidding. No, I really like that. I like the simplicity of it and the somehow, like, I want to say like the stupidity, but it's not stupid. It's really genius.
Mhm.
It just sounds stupid. It's like, why would you do that? That's dumb. It's like, no, that's genius. All right, so before we get into this, 'cause I'm sure we're going to get into it some more, tell me what happened yesterday. Like, I know the basic outcome, but like, how did it happen?
Well, I started an OnlyFans account and I like just slowly started unbuttoning and I just
Nice.
like kept getting more tips.
Until, you had your tip.
So what I mean, after we talked, I mean, like as we talked and ended the session, like I posted the question here. I'll just pull it up so I can actually look at the thread. I asked do you want me to build your audience for you? So pretty quick, like the first comment was Randy, and he's like, so I just responded with a GIF, and then he messaged me, and he's like, what did he say?
He said, "You're an idiot." Man, that would
He
be
said,
so funny if you get to the level where it's like you post a question or something like that, and someone's like, "Hey, you're an idiot," and they end up hiring you. Like, if you're at that level of like good that you're so good at what you do, you just post something that people think is dumb, and by being yourself, you kind of like convert people, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, I'm gonna pay you to be dumb."
so he texted me. What time did I post this? 22 hours ago. Yeah, I posted this like just a couple minutes after 12. He messaged me a few minutes after. It's like, are you doing the audience building? If so, I'm getting serious about my group and I could use your help. So I said, yeah, I'm looking for one or two people to help on like a high ticket offer. So I'm testing this to see if it's something that people need. And I said, if you want to get on a call, tell me what you want to see happen with your group. I'd love to hear your plans. So he said, it's now good. So we got on a call, and 2 hours later, I just let him talk. And he finally said, so what would it take for us to work together? How much do you need? And so he said he wanted to start with doing one project. And the project was like finding 12 people who are a good fit, who are willing to be in a paid group for launching this like membership that he wants to do. And he's trying to build sort of like an irreligious, non-denominational church kind of thing. It's like all of the community and self-development and stuff that comes with church, but without saying you have to be this religion, you have to believe these things. It's like if you're on that journey and you know that church doesn't work for you, but you want the benefit of being in a group with people who are, that's what their journey is like, that's where they're going. Let's build that together. And so he wants to find, a dozen people or so who are interested in helping build that and who also are willing to pay like from the beginning. So the goal is find 12 people and that's the project. And I said, okay, $1,000. And he's like, let's do it.
The best part about this, well, aside from how quickly and easily it happened, is the fact that it combines so many elements from the different things you've been doing like over the last year or so. Of like, community happens to be 12 people, not your 12 people, but still, and it's like the whole religion thing, which kind of like not really is like, we've been joking about like we should start our own sect kind of thing. It's like elements of all those things. I'm like, well, that's convenient.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really interesting. Like the right person who's looking for me basically was there when I said, okay, I'm ready for the universe to like give me a way to help the world. And it showed up like somebody who, they weren't looking for a program, that weren't looking for an outcome. It's like what they wanted was basically what I'm specifically cut out to do. So pretty wild.
So how long did it take from like the moment you posted to the moment like the deal was closed? Approximately, it doesn't have to be exact. I'm just curious.
$12, $13. Let me see. Don't. If I was at my computer at home, I could see what time the Zoom did. Oh, maybe I can do that on Zoom with past meetings. Let's see. Zoom cloud meetings. Got it.
I think it was around 12:15, something like that, when we ended the call. So you must have posted a couple minutes before. So let's say like between 12 and 15 that you posted the question.
Or show past meetings. I don't know. Let me see if I texted you.
It doesn't have to be precise. I'm just curious. Is it like 2 hours, 4 hours, 12 hours?
Yeah, it was less than 2 hours because I'm looking at, you texted me about 12:21, which is around the time I got on the call with Randy. Yeah, we got on the call at 10:24. And then I came in about 5 minutes or so after I came in, about 10 minutes or so after I came in the house, I texted you. So it was about an hour and 40 minutes later.
Wow. So this just proves the whole business concept of like, we came up with this business idea. We tested it within minutes of coming up with it. and within 2 hours, you had $1,000 client sign up.
Imagine if every idea that we came up with, we tested this way. It's like, okay, let's boil it down, really crush it down to like, what's the one question to ask that will let you validate that post? Or I mean, validate that idea. So the market can tell you, I'm in or I'm out. I mean, and I think that's what this was, that's what this did really well. If I had a broader audience, I might have even gotten way more engagement. But part of me is glad I don't have like 16 people saying, yeah, build my audiences. I mean, I don't know, maybe that would be a good thing. I could charge 50,000, for each person, and then just start like launch an agency and be like, all right, this is how we're going to do it. Who knows? But yeah, it's really interesting. I was looking at the numbers. I was like, in 2 weeks, I've gone from charging $200 to $1,000 for doing almost the same work. I'll probably be doing a little bit more work with Randy, but like my plan is I'm gonna reuse the engagement workshop that I put together, just have him do the questions. So we'll sit down and put together his community values. And then he's already got a big group that he's built. He's already got an audience. So you can just start throwing those questions out that will start attracting who's the right person that's going to be interested in this new thing that he's doing.
So what you're saying is you asked a question, someone said, I'm going to pay you $1,000 to do this. And all you have to do is just ask another question.
Yeah, questions that are already done, like it's work that I've already finished. So all that I'm really being paid for is like my time and attention to like just be available during the process. I'm not really doing work, but just like being, it's like the thing we talked about, like, can you get paid to be somebody's friend? That's kind of what this is.
Yeah. Wow. And this is amazing. And I think this is the proof that we need to like make us realize life is as simple as we want to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just depressing because it means, wow, we've been choosing to make it so difficult for so long.
It's kind of funny though, because I mean, you don't realize that you have a choice for a long time until you finally realize that you do. And then you're like, but I don't believe that. And then you have to get to the place where you believe it, and then you just actually do it. But it's just wild. So I'm like, okay, in 2 weeks, I've made like $1,750 or so, only doing stuff related to like community and online business stuff. So I'm like, that's with like kind of fumbling around and not really knowing what I'm doing yet. Like I don't have a lot of systems in place. I don't have a lot of like routines, KPIs, processes that are like just going as a part of a machine. So I'm like, if that's what I can do kind of like accidentally, like this is going to be a lot more fun, a lot easier than I anticipated, because I'm really good at like systemizing things. So, it might take me a month or two to kind of experiment and figure out, all right, what's the thing that's going to consistently get sales? But like if I can get to the point where I'm getting 2 clients for a low ticket, like something under $2,000 that doesn't require a ton of my time, like I could turn that into like a repeatable process. And like that's baseline, like minimum livable income. Like we can survive on that long enough until I figure out like, all right, how do I really niche down even more so that like I'm the only one that can do what we're doing. I'm the only one that's It's like, it's a really magic special sauce thing that I'm doing, and the results are provable and repeatable, and yeah, I'm really excited.
All right, something is coming up, and maybe that's just me being selfish. But I'm like, all right, your thing is community. My thing, or at least what's gonna be my thing, is like newsletters.
Mhm.
So is there a way we can help each other out? Or is it just like two completely separate different things? It's like, yeah, okay, just talking is the way we help each other out. I'm just like wondering, like, is
Um,
there a way for us to help the other without really having to do any work? Just because, like, well, these are the skills I have, so you should do this, this, and this.
um, oh, I know. I mean, we're gonna have these conversations like several times a week. Like, this should be our lead gen. I mean, it'll be slow at first, but like, we should just like, if you want to make money online, just join Guillaume's newsletter. If you already make money online and you want to make more money, have Aaron build you a community.
Yeah, we're idiots. We should just, well, right now I don't have it yet, but once I build it, so in a couple days, just like insert the links in the description of every video we do. That way, no matter what happens, the links are there.
Yeah,
And if for some reason one of the videos just like blows up and gets 1 million views, well, then the links are there.
right. I should set you up on my LastPass account. I have a family account, so I can have multiple login uh, usernames and stuff. So like, we should create like a joint venture LastPass for like our mastermind or our group. Like, anytime we're sharing resources, or like if we want to, um, if you want to jump on the YouTube channel, like add stuff to a video or whatever, like we can do that stuff without having to constantly coordinate.
Sure, I mean, we can, although I feel like this is literally just something that we kind of need to do once and then literally copy and paste in every video of like, here are the links. Is that a hamburger? Well, a veggie burger?
Yeah.
Nice. This is the remote. Way less tasty.
Oh, what if we just made a ugly graphic that was like, had the had the links on it, so we don't even have to do anything to the YouTube video, just like set it as your virtual background, or or something, and then you just have it up all the time.
I don't know. I feel like people are just used to like watching YouTube videos and having links. So they just like scroll down and like
Mhm,
click the link. Whereas
mhm.
this, they would have to manually go and like write it. I don't think people are used to that.
Yeah, it's too many steps.
I'm also thinking like, I don't use virtual backgrounds. Like, I find it looks crappy because like the outline is never good. So I'm just like, I don't want
Mhm.
to use one. Oh, or just get like a tattoo of a QR code, and the QR code just like sends them, so you're like, all right, go to my website.
I want to get like a discount code tattooed to my butt cheek, so when people are
So like
like,
the tramp stamp.
hey, no, like literally on my butt cheek.
Okay.
Be like, can I work with you? Be like, yeah, just take a picture of this.
Ah, man, you're such an ass.
That's so dumb.
But I love it. Oh, but I love it. Huh? I didn't even notice.
But, comma, no, but, period. I love it.
What period? Oh, that sounds gross. I guess that's what hemorrhoids are, right? I was not expecting the conversation to go this way. Then again, I never expect anything from our conversations. Uh,
That's what makes them magical.
All right. So to go back to what you were saying before, it's like, is there a way to make our life so simple that it's like, it's the equivalent of, I should just ask a question and then you ask a question and you get what you wanted to, or what you're meant to get. It's like, can we live life that way? Not just business and not necessarily questions of like, can it be as simple as I'm going to ask a question or I'm going to do one thing or I'm like that level of easy.
Hmm. I mean, I think as we are more and more in the habit of just taking action on the stuff we want to do, it's probably going to look more like just regularly asking ourselves, what do I want next? And then it's just like we're just going to be in the habit of like, okay, whatever needs to happen to get to that thing, we're going to either figure out how to do or just do the things that pop up in our life that will lead to that, and not have to control the process. I feel like that's probably becoming going to become more true.
I'm just wondering, like, is it possible to come up with a system or develop a certain habit that the default is take immediate action without questioning anything? So it's like, it's telling me to do this, I'm going to do that right now. So it's like
Mm,
for everything. For business, it's like, all right, what's the question I need to ask? Okay, I'm gonna go ask that question. You ask it right now. It's like, all right, I need to figure out what my next move is. Am I gonna stay
mhm,
here? Am I gonna go to another city? Am I gonna go to another country? It's like the second the question comes up, it's like, all right, what feels right? Let's do that right now. Instead of like, well, I'm not sure, so I'm just gonna take time to think about it and figure it out. And then like 4 days later, I'm like, I'm still in the exact same place. So it's like, can
mhm,
we get to a point where we either have a system or a way of thinking that is so simple that it's like thought, action,
mhm,
like it's constantly that way. We don't have to think about anything.
mhm.
And maybe that's just a question of practice. I don't know. But it's just for me, like I know myself and I know that systems or like strategies or like challenges or stuff like that work well just because like I'm clear on like this is what I got to do. It's like if I can come up with this like the business yesterday, talking through it, like I got super clear on exactly what I want to do. And now it's like, all right, I can do all that work in a day. And the next day that I have like the full day, nothing planned, that's gonna be it.
Mhm,
Get up, work on it, get it done as quickly as possible, and launch the business. So it's like,
mhm,
can I get that level of clarity like as a default for my life?
mhm,
Like that's what I want to get to. Like I'm simplifying everything and I'm like, can I make my life so simple that I don't need to really think about anything or plan anything? It's literally like, this feels right, let's do it. But it's like I don't have that default yet. So I'm just wondering, how do I set that up? What if I don't need to set it up? What if I just need to do it? Because trying to come up with a plan to make it happen is the equivalent of doing what I'm already doing right now. I'm like, oh, I keep trying to plan everything and figure everything out. So let's plan and figure this out so I don't do that. It's like, no,
mhm.
that's stupid. But my brain's still like, nope, there's a way to figure this out. I think it ties into what I've been feeling like the last few days of like, I don't know how to describe it. But it's kind of like, I want to get to the point where I'm selfish in the sense of like, I don't let other people's behavior affect me. It's like in the past, it's like, well, if someone's feeling bad, I'm going to try to help them. If
Mhm.
we're like planning something together, like I'm going to adjust my schedule for that. And then the people like just end up like not responding and bailing. And I'm just like, I feel like crap. Well, not necessarily like crap, but I'm just like,
Mhm.
why did I go through all this effort to make a compromise to try to plan when the person doesn't care? So I'm just like, I feel like I need to get to the point where I'm the person who's like, I'm doing what I'm doing. If you're interested, you can join me. If not, get the hell out of the way because I'm doing
Mhm.
this. Like I want to get to that point, and I feel like this whole element of like what feels right, immediately take action. I think that's kind of like tied together.
Mhm.
And I just after what you did yesterday, I'm like, I want to get to your level. How do I do what you do?
Mhm.
And maybe it's just the simple decision that from now on, I'm always going to do the easiest, fastest, and most effective version of everything. And that might just be, also dumbest. Sorry, I forgot. That's very important. I don't know. I just feel like I need to get clarity on that because I know myself and I know once I have clarity,
Mhm.
I can just go all out. It's like, that's how I ran an ultra marathon. That's how I wrote a book in 30 days. Like I need
Mhm.
that clarity. I need to know like this is exactly what I'm doing. And then I can just go out and like destroy it. Whereas if
Mhm.
I'm confused, I'm like, well, I can kind of feel my way through it, but it's tentative and I'm not really sure what I'm doing. Whereas if it's like, all right, this is how I'm living my life now, then I feel like I'm going to be able to go all out.
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe that's a limitation I need to get over.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's really weird, like where at least where I feel like I'm starting to be is getting to the point where I'm not trying super hard to figure out stuff or to even do stuff. I'm just like setting the intentions and then sort of like letting the momentum of what that is kind of start to play itself out. And I think sometimes we take the long route to things because we think we have to like do all of these steps. And in reality, like where we want to go, sometimes there's like these really short, it's like, what if you could just ask one question? You know, it's like the like what we were saying the other day about can you ask the universe to give you $1 million? It's like maybe that the right way to ask the universe isn't saying in English, will you give me $1 million? It's like, what's the thing that's valuable to other people that you tell people or let people know that is available to them through you? And then it's like if you can shrink that window, um man, I keep going back to that the fast food analogy of if you could figure out how, like if you have something that is valuable enough where, I mean, for people who have money, if you can say pay me 100 grand and I can pretty much guarantee you'll make $1 million out of that investment, like they'd be stupid to say no. I mean, they might not know you or trust you, but if you can if you can demonstrate with the results and with like referrals or testimonials, people who they might trust. Yeah, so I think a lot of it is just boils into like, who are the people with means that you are really well set up to create more value from their stuff that they already have. Like they've got a bunch of Legos and they're like, all right, I know how to make like cars, tanks, houses. I've never built a ship before. And like, it's like, well, that's all I build is like ships and bottles, sailboats. I can build whatever kind of ship you want. Like, here's my Lego set, go for it. It's like, I'll give you this handful of bricks and you build something that's like a yacht. Like, I would not have been able to do that by myself. I'm glad I got you to do it. Here's, whatever the exchange is worth to them. But,
It's
I think
funny when you were
yeah,
talking about like finding someone who's willing to pay you 100,000 and you can pretty much guarantee they're going to make 1 million. What came up for me is like, that's exactly the plan for the newsletter. It's like, it doesn't matter how much I invest to build it, because if I pay like, I don't know, $10 to get a person on my list and they stay on the list for a year on average, well, it might take 10 months before I make my money back, but then the other 2 months I'm making profit. So that's like a 20% profit on investment. And as I keep going and I learn like how to build the audience, like a better quality audience and faster and cheaper, then I just make more money. So it's like, this strategy is guaranteed to make money. It's just a question of how long it takes and how much money you make.
Yeah.
Like, all right, now I'm thinking, who can I pay just to do this? It's like, even if I don't have $100,000 yet, I have $1,000. Just like, I pay someone $1,000 to give me like, well, I don't know how many like would be, but let's say like 300, 500 people or whatever. Like, if they're good quality leads, like I'm willing to pay them $1,000 because I know that in 3-4 months I'm going to break even and then start making a profit.
Right. I wonder if
Okay. What if we, what if my default approach to everything was, I'm overthinking this? What is the simplest version of this? So let's assume I'm overthinking building the audience. What is the simplest version of this? Like, what is the easiest, quickest, cheapest version of building a newsletter and growing the audience?
instead of asking what's the cheapest, what if it was like, what's the way to guarantee that it will work?
Okay.
Because like you were saying, like you'd pay $1,000 to if somebody was like, oh, I can get you good quality leads. I mean, on some level, you still have to trust that person. You still have to gamble that their system's going to work and they're going to be able to get you good fits who are willing to take action, who are going to be worth, have some, average lifetime customer value that's going to outpace what you pay to get them. If you could, like, if you can know for sure that it's gonna work, yeah, I keep coming back to like, I think the slow way is the fastest way.
It's funny because I'm went in the opposite direction. I'm like, yeah, this is a waste of time because the simplest way to do it is to just do it. I don't need to figure out how to do it. I just need to do it.
Hmm.
It's like, this is gonna be my business now. If I can find a way to inject a bunch of money into it and hire someone to build it quickly, that's great. If not, I'm still
Mhm.
gonna do it slowly and test a bunch of different stuff and see what works and what doesn't.
Right.
Like, first step is just set up a business and start doing it.
Mhm.
It's like, try a bunch of different ways to grow the audience and see what works best, see what's the best quality client, and see what is the cheapest.
Mhm.
Because the thing is, I could literally, I could do this for free. Because if we go back to the concept of networking, which we've been talking about on and off for the past year or so, if I find like 10 people with big lists, and I'm like, hey, I have this list where it's pretty much like very simple, straightforward, and I'm just giving people a bunch of opportunities. If you think your audience would be interested, you can send them a quick email. And it's like, if
Mhm.
I have that connection with them, they're going to be like, yeah, okay, I see the value in that. I think my audience would like that. I'll just send an email. It's like, if they have 10,000 people in their email and 1% find it
Mhm.
interesting, that's like 100 more people. If I have 10 people like that, that's 1,000 that I got for free. And it's like, I think once again, it comes back to networking, like everything. Like your sale that you made yesterday, you wouldn't have gotten it if you hadn't done the effort of networking previously.
Mhm.
Oh, I just realized having an email list is the ultimate form of networking. So it's like, instead of, creating a connection with one person, you create a connection with 1,000 people, 10,000
Mhm.
people. And you can ask a simple question to those 10,000 people, and whoever's interested raises their hand. So it's like, that's why I've always kind of like thought a bit networking is like, yeah, okay, it's fun, but I don't want to go through the process of just like speaking to
Mhm.
100 people just to find like 2 or 3 that I get along with and then see if the relationship like leads to something. I don't want to go through that. I've been through it in the past. And it's like, okay, I got to meet like you and Jessica and Bobby and like
Mhm.
a few others out of it, and that was worth it. But I don't
Mhm.
want to keep doing that over and over. I'm
Mhm.
realizing that the newsletter is my way of networking. It's like, once that's set up, I can literally ask one right question and get like a ton of responses. And if the question is like, hey, do you want to buy this product? If I have 10,000 people and 1,000 people say yes, and I'm making $100, it's like, well, I just made $100,000 from asking one question.
Mhm.
I wonder if, huh, I wonder if it would be possible to like cultivate a list that is such high quality that like the conversion rate is just super high. Because like most lists, I mean, I don't know exactly the conversion rate. I know the like it's average $1 per person per month,
Mhm.
but it's like, is it possible to curate your list in such a way that it's like, all right, I put you through like a bunch of tests, so only the people who are really interested in this sign up.
Mhm.
And then like the way I run the newsletter is like, all right, let's say if you haven't opened an email in 3 months, I automatically delete you. So it's like, is it possible to run your newsletter in such a way that you only have the highest quality people, so that when you do ask a question or make an offer, your conversion rate, instead of being like 1%, it's like 10% or 20%? Like, would it be possible to?
Mhm.
Because people are so focused on building like big lists of like, oh, I want like a list like Russell Brunson. I want like 5 million people on my list. Like, yeah, okay, that's great. But what if half of them are just like crap? What's the point?
Mhm. Yeah. Okay, what's the question we should be asking right now?
Ooh, what is more important? The size of the list or the size of the profit? And I, of course, like it's the amount of money I make. Like I much prefer having a 1,000 person list and making $10,000 a month from that 1,000 people than having 10,000 people on my list and making $1,000 per month.
Hmm. Yeah, so getting better quality fits is more important. It's the same thing we've talked about before. It's like you found one client who actually wanted to give you $100,000 for, whatever it is you're offering. It's like you only have to find that one person. So the better quality of fit, the more valuable it is.
Which is funny because I'm realizing like, all right, who's the best fit? Well, the person that's going to buy the most programs. Who's that person? A person who sucks at doing business online, because otherwise he'd buy one, be successful, and then not need it. So I
Hmm.
need people who are like, I used to be. It's like, I tried this, half-assed it, didn't really work. All right, let's try this. Half-assed it, didn't really work. All right, let's try this.
Mhm. You know, it's not that you need people who are bad at business. It's that you need people who consume a lot of information. Because I think business owners, like CEO types, get to the point where they've done enough of the work that they'll hand off the execution of certain things, and they keep consuming information, which is how they make more connections. They are able to stay on top of like what's happening around them, and like financial sector and the global economy. But they'll just keep on like buying stuff and like skimming things just so that they're aware of more. So you want somebody who's highly driven to absorb information, but they don't necessarily have to be bad at business. Like, what if you targeted hmm, what if you found interesting, like unique things about like small affiliate programs that are doing something different, that are doing something like they might not have super like out of the water results, but they just have a really unique method. They have a different approach to doing something. Like they're doing something that is not being done very well. And somebody else might be able to look at that and be like, oh, snap, I could totally use that in my business. I could totally leverage that idea. And they might throw 99% of the information away, but they come away with the one idea that's useful for them. I bet there's people like that out there who just constantly go through stuff, just to find out new ways of doing things. I know that's what I want to do when I get more successful, but I also, you know,
I'm just wondering, because if I took that approach, then I would have to change the theme of the newsletter. Because right now it's like, all right, do you want to make money online? Here are all the different opportunities you can do that. Whereas if I'm targeting people who are already making money online, it's like,
mhm.
all right, here are the things that you can learn from. So it's like, if you already have a business, like, all right, here's an offer of like showing you how you can create a YouTube channel that's going to constantly drive free traffic to whatever your offer is.
Mhm.
It's like that could add to their business, but it could also be like a business in itself. Like if you don't have a business, you can be like, all right, I'm going to create a YouTube channel and set it up in the right way to start generating traffic to whatever I choose my offer to be, whether that's coaching or affiliate marketing or whatever it is. It's like,
Yeah.
it could work for both, but it's just, I like the simplicity of
Yeah.
just like, do you want to make money online? And that's it. Like that is the theme of the newsletter.
Yeah. I think that's the right approach. I mean, it's a big, gigantic niche market. Like there's definitely going to be some room to carve out your own space.
I'm trying to find an analogy for what this is like. But I guess in a way it's kind of like Netflix of like, there's all these movies and TV series out there, but here are the ones that we chose for you. So just pay us and you get access to that. This is like, well, there's a ton of different like programs and business types and stuff like that out there. So here are the best ones I found, and I'm just sending them to you. It's kind of like that aggregator strategy,
Right.
which I find would be very valuable because I've never seen that for business. Everyone's always trying to like create their business, their offer, trying to sell you their thing. And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Okay. It seems to me like one of the best ways to make money is to show people how to make money. It seems like that's a pretty consistent
Yep.
theme. And if you're going to go after people who aren't very good at business, or people who aren't very, maybe people who, okay, so what I'm trying to say is, why don't you just model that model by taking affiliate offers that are about building affiliate businesses, and then talk about, it's like literally the business that I'm building is like the fastest and the best way to make money online if you don't want to have to learn a bunch of stuff, like figure out how hard it is to like differentiate yourself. Like if you don't even know what you would do or what you would offer, it's like the best thing is about affiliate businesses is there are businesses that are already working. People are already making money with systems that all you have to do is follow the steps. If you're willing to just shut up and do the work, just build it quick, build it fast, like you can start making money. And I think that's what, like, if it's working for you, you have case studies from yourself. But then if you're picking the affiliate programs that are showing you how to do affiliate stuff, like all of this stuff where they're showing like, this is why this works over and over. You know, this person joined our program, they're starting to make money. This person, like, it allows you to create that momentum and that like that self-referential, like if I'm doing it, like that's what I'm recommending, and that's how I'm showing you how to make money. It's like there's a reason I picked this over all of the other things that you could do in the online space. Like you can go into coaching, you can go, you know, be a service provider, you can go start an agency, sell ads, whatever. But if you want the fastest path to money, it's like don't build your own thing, find somebody else's thing and help them use the system that's already working. And that's how you can make money.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of what I'm gonna do anyway,
Mhm.
but I don't want to like limit myself to that. Because I feel like I'm probably gonna do that most of the time as a default, but if
Mhm.
in the future I decide like, oh, I want to go in a different direction, I don't want to have to like tell the audience like, okay, we're going in this direction now, so things are gonna change and people are probably gonna drop off. So I want to keep things specific enough and broad enough at the same time. So it's like you want to make money online is specific enough that it's going to attract the right kind of people and vague enough that I can play around within that until I figure out exactly what's right for me and for that audience. Basically, I want to make my life as easy as possible. And every time I niche down, it makes it more difficult because I'm eliminating all those other options.
Mhm.
Like in this case, it's one of the very few times where niching down too much isn't a good thing. Because I'm not trying to sell my one business. It's not like, all right, let's drill down until we find exactly what that one thing that represents my business is. It's like, no, I'm promoting all these different kind of businesses. So it's
Mhm.
like I'm living up here in like the mega niches rather than drilling down to the like sub niches.
Mhm.
Damn it, now I want Subway. Uh, yeah, I feel like I'm at the point where I just need like a full day free to be able to set this up. So I'm thinking probably tomorrow, since we don't
Mhm.
have a chat tomorrow and I don't have anything planned yet. So just set this up because I feel like at this point, I already have everything that I need. Talking about it
Mhm.
is kind of a waste of time, you know?
Mhm.
So should we just do like random floating where we just talk about nothing interesting?
Um, well, I do have some work I need to do. Um, see, what do I need to do? I have a transcript I'm editing, basically cutting it down and making it more readable. So I need to get that finished today. Uh,
Is that
Beyond
the
that,
audience building job you have?
mhm,
Okay.
mhm, yeah, that's the class that we did a couple weeks ago.
Just for fun, what is the simplest version of that?
The simplest version of what?
Of having to like, break that down and like figure it out.
Really, I mean, really just have to start. I've already done like a quarter of it. Just need to jump back in. I did some of it Wednesday. Then I was working all day Thursday and Friday. So I'm gonna start working on it again today. Try and get that done. So I've got 2 or 3 other tasks I need to finish this week for that job.
Hmm. I
It's
just
it's
find
one of those things where it's like it's somebody else's task, so they want it done a certain way. So it's like there's not a lot of wiggle room. Like, if it was me, I would probably just send people the video with the side-by-side transcript. I wouldn't do any of the editing because the transcript allows you to skim and see like what part you want to see. It doesn't need to be like a readable resource, but he's wanting it to be like, it could be like a chapter in a book or something.
okay. Hmm. It's just funny to me because it seems like this is the fourth video, I think. I don't know.
Fifth.
Fifth, okay. seems like the last ones, it's always like we're talking and at the end, like within the last 5 to 10 minutes, we're like, oh my God.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay, so I told Jessica this last night. I set the intention on my vision board. I don't have a picture of it, but I set the intention to like call to attract, call, nurture, and spend. I forget exactly what it says, but it's like to call in crystal money. I don't know why I wrote that, but that's just what I decided to write. Oh, because the idea was like I wanted like not uh just money by itself, like cash, but I wanted money that was going to be kind of like the seed, like the seed of money that will kind of like continue to gather more money to itself. And
Oh, I like that.
so
I like
it's
that.
like, I'm like, if I'm growing a crystal with the energy of money, it's like, I don't want just like money like dead leaves. Like I want a thing that was gonna like grow. So it's like if money grew on trees, if it was a rock or a diamond or something like that, it's like, how do you call in that kind of money? So Saturday we went to the park and I found a crystal point on the ground. It was like a quartz, like one of those like, the things that people, it's like looked like a gem. It was like this big fat crystal that's like super clear, like really good quality crystal. And then it's like the next day, yesterday morning is when I had the call. And so I'm like, it's really interesting that I had those two words right beside each other on my vision board, had them there for a couple months. I forget exactly when we put them together, but, and then it's like those two things were beside each other on the board. And then like the day before and the day after, I got a crystal and I got money. And it wasn't just like, oh, this is like a cool little, like somebody lost their rock and it's kind of stepped on, or it's like, it looks, I'll have to show it to you sometime, but it looks really crazy. It's like when you imagine a crystal, that's what it is.
Yeah. All right.
And
This is bringing up something. So that concept of like, not just any money, but I want money that's going to generate more money.
mhm.
I think that is a really cool distinction to make.
Yeah,
It
and
might be,
what I put on my board too is like, I want to attract it, but I also want to like cultivate it and grow it and spend it. So I mean, yeah, I think there's something really interesting about getting specific about what you want and then like putting it out into the world by saying it or writing it down or something. And it's funny because like the floating sessions that we've done a while back, like they pop up on my feed all the time. It's like, oh, a year ago you
yeah,
did this. So like
yeah.
once in a while I'll like push play and just kind of like scrub through like, wait a sec, we said that? I'm like, that literally just happened to us. I'm like, it's really bizarre.
Okay, I'm wondering this whole like attracting money that generates other money. Does that mean that there's different kinds of money? Or is it just how we spend the money that determines the result? It's like if you attract money and you just spend it, oh yeah, okay, you attracted money and spent it. But what if you attract money and then you invest it into a business or something like that, and then it generates even more money? So it's like you attracted $100, invest in your business, and it generates like $1,000.
Okay, so this is really interesting. The work that I'm doing for Brian, like it's essentially like glorified VA work. I mean, he's paying me a lot more than a VA, but it's admin, like organizational stuff. He has an option now where he can pay people in cryptocurrency. Like if you want, like I signed up like a regular job, like like W-4, like a tax form, that sort of thing. So he can pay me directly at PayPal. But he said, if you want, I can pay you in Ethereum. And I was like, it's interesting. Because I was thinking, well, right now what I need is I need like dependable, predictable income. And it's like, then once I have like, okay, well, I have my basic income and necessities covered, then I'll like start budgeting out, well, what percentage of my money do I want to spend on like investments and putting it into crypto and that sort of thing. I'm like, what if I just said the money that somebody else is paying me, I'm just gonna make that be my money that is built to grow. And the money that I need for my own basic income is still just on me to go make. I don't know. Because I have no doubt, like if I invested in something like, Ethereum and just sit on it, like in 2 or 3 years, it'll be probably double what it was worth now. And right now it's down quite a bit. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
reading that
I know.
they project by the end of the year or by next year, it'll probably double. I mean, and it'll probably fluctuate a lot too, just because crypto is so volatile. But it's like, if your goal was to to like leverage the volatility of the, you could probably buy Ethereum at like $2,000 a coin right now, and then next year probably be close to 4,000. That's what they're anticipating. So I'm like, that's one way you could get money that just grows by itself.
It's funny because something completely different popped up when you were talking.
Hmm.
It's like, what if we apply the principle of, I want money that grows itself? What if we apply that principle to people? So it's like, all right, I don't want to network by going out and like meeting and making friends with a bunch of people. I want to make friends with someone who can go out and find me the people that I need.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think that's a thing, but it's like, a finder. It's like, all right, is there someone out there who just has like so many connections or who's really good at finding stuff? So I'm like, hey, dude, I need like someone who's really good at growing a newsletter so
Mm-hmm.
that I can grow a quality newsletter very quickly. Can you go find me that person? Like, if I had a person who has the ability to go out and do that very easily, very quickly, that would be so valuable. And then I don't need to go through the trouble of, oh, I need to build like a bunch, like a big network of people.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Um,
So, ooh, what if we applied that principle to everything, to money? It's like, all right, I don't want to just like attract a bunch of different like types of money. I just want to attract like one type of money that's going to attract more money for me. It's like, I don't want to go out and like meet a bunch of people. It's like, I want to go out and find someone who can connect me with pretty much anyone I want, whenever I want.
mhm. Yeah.
And what if we apply that to like everything in life? And that's just like, all right, how do we find the right people to give us access to the things that we want?
It's a good question.
All right, if we go meta, I think that becoming friends with the universe allows you to do exactly that. The universe is the ultimate networker, connector, employer. It's like, you want money, you want connections to other people, the universe can help you. Anything you want, the universe can help you.
Okay, so in that paradigm, how do you be the kind of person that
Paradigm, so 20 cents. Ooh, okay. I think the solution is, how do you become the type of person that the universe wants to be friends with?
Yes, that's basically what I was gonna say. Because it's like, some people like care for others, like they love giving people gifts. Like that's just how they express like intimacy with other people. So how do you become friends with that part of the universe that's like you ingratiate yourself in it, are so endearing to the part of the universe that just needs to give away things because that's how it expresses love?
All right, so I realized two things. First of all, is crap, that means I'm gonna learn to be able to accept stuff. I'm very good when it comes to helping others and giving others and all that crap. But it's very difficult for me to accept help and gifts and money and stuff like that from others. Like if someone's like, hey, I want to give you $1,000, I'm gonna be like, well, no, I didn't earn it. It's like I'm more than happy to get it if I work hard to earn that money. But if I don't work and then someone wants to give me $1,000, I'd be like, no. Or I would, and then I'd feel guilty and it'd be weird. It's like, all right, one of the things I need to do is develop the ability to accept the gifts that the universe will give me.
Mm.
Somehow that seems like way harder than anything else.
I have a
I
I
think
have I have a question for you. This is a little bit of a, I mean, I
okay.
really have no agenda here. I'm just kind of curious. Why is it that you've built up this skill as a writer? You can create a lot of volume with your writing, but you haven't used that particular skill set in terms of like trying to write copy or figure out like how do you use that tool as a money making skill set?
Because I'm an idiot. I don't know. I've always kind of, because there's different forms of writing.
Mhm,
The form of writing that I enjoy is storytelling. So it's like, it's not
mhm,
writing in itself that I necessarily enjoy, it's
mhm,
storytelling I enjoy.
mhm,
So everyone's like, oh, you should be like a copywriter or whatever, like anything to do with nonfiction. I'm just like, no, I don't want to do that. I hate that.
mhm,
So it's like I identify more with the author or storyteller part of writing, not the
mhm,
writing part of writing.
mhm.
So
So,
it's always about like the story, the dream, the experience, the whatever that thing is.
mhm,
And it's like I think
so,
that element I'm kind of plugging into
mhm,
with this whole newsletter. It's like I'm sharing this story or this opportunity with you via a very short email. So it's not about the email copy and everything and trying to pre-sell and convince you. It's like I have this ability to share. So I'm sharing this with you. The ability to share, shareability. Or maybe I'm just being dumb and not using the skills that I have.
so I mean, I really resonate with the like the resistance to the like the task part of writing for sure. I mean, part of me is like, part of me feels like, okay, you're smart, you're creative. I mean, so am I. And this has always been kind of at the back of my head. I'm like, is there a way to use the skill set of understanding and feeling through storytelling, which that's what storytelling really is about, is like being able to construct uh, a, a, a some kind of scaffolding that represents emotion. So when people become familiar with that structure, it outlines an experience for them. stories are able to transmit emotion in a way that like a lot of people can't successfully empathize nearly as well as like people who are really like people people. Anyway, I'm getting off track. I've always wondered, I've always asked myself, like, is there a way to do copywriting without having to do the writing part of the copy, or at least significantly lessen the copy part of the process?
It's funny that you say that because as you were talking, what came up for me is writing, like fiction is different because fiction, you're telling a story. It's not about the length, it's about the emotion, the experience, and like everything. But nonfiction is about conveying the information very accurately. And I look at like most sales pages and like, even as an example, like the one that Jessica shared with us in the group a couple days ago, where it's like I look at something like that and I'm just like 75% of what's there doesn't need to be there. And I look at sales pages like so many funnels. It's like a long sales page of like all the values and all the guarantees and all the proof and all that crap. And it's like, I never, ever, ever read any of it. And it's like, maybe it works because it plays on the mind. It's like it gives the impression that there's so much content, there's so much value. But to me, it's just overwhelming and it's a distraction. And I always ignore all of it. So to me, the art of writing effectively is minimizing as much as you can. So it's like, all right, you can take a normal sales page, and it's like the actual information the person needs to make a decision is maybe 10% of that. So what if instead of like, all right, I'm going to be a copywriter and I'm going to write your sales copy and everything, it's like I could be a copy editor in the sense of like, all right, give me your sales page and I'm going to remove like 90% of the crap that's not useful and tell you this is the 10% that you need to keep. And it's like, because I look at different sales pages, like I tested a few different ones and it's like, the one that worked the best was, I forget exactly what it was, but it's basically like, warning, this has the potential to change your life, like, use it at your own risk or something like that. And it's very like attention grabbing. And it's like, all right, that is way more valuable than like 5,000 words of copy of like selling all the value, because it's like, it gets people here and they're like, oh, okay, yes. So to me, it's way more effective having something very simple of like, do you want to make money online? I'm going to send you an opportunity, like a simple opportunity to your email every day. I'm not going to try to sell you. I'm not going to try to pitch you. I'm not going to try to convince you. I'm just going to provide the information and you get to decide. That as an offer is way more valuable than like crap ton of copy. So maybe that would be my skill. Because like every time I read like copywriting books or stuff like that, and there's like so many strategies and everything, and I'm like, yeah, that's great, but I hate this. I don't want to do any of this. And also, like, I realized that when I record a video, as an example, it's more like improvised and freeform and everything. It's like I'm telling a story, so it's usually somewhat entertaining, at least for other people. For me, it's boring as hell, but I lived it, so it's not supposed to be fun for me. But I get to the end of the video, and most of the time, like, yeah, I could have done that at about half the time. And I think that is the value that I can give. Like, I can extract the valuable information from something that's already there. So I don't want to create what's there. I just want to extract the information, which I'm just realizing is probably why I've done so many courses and like different business stuff. And it's like, I haven't succeeded because I'm like, I just went through the content, took notes and extracted the valuable information. I didn't really care about actually doing it.
But that's, I mean, that's the literal skill of copywriting. Like copywriting is basically editing. It's like you absorb and suck in as much information about the product or the person or culture, and then you just like spit out like what's the bare minimum people need to know.
But you still need to create that content because they usually give you like a bunch of information. You're like, all right, I take this, I place it there, and you write in everything. It's like, to me, what would be way more effective, I think, and way more fun is like, all right, give me your pre-made sales page, like your funnel or whatever. And it's like, all right, just give me, and like, I'm going to copy it. You can still keep the original, split test everything, but it's like, I'm going to remove everything that's not useful, rewrite a few things, and give you like the condensed version of like, that's what the person needs to know. And then you can go out and split test and see which one works best.
Okay. Do you want
So
to
it's
try
like,
that?
it's the work part of like doing and formatting and everything that I hate. Like, if I have to do it for myself, I'm going to do it, but I don't want to do it. Like, same with websites. Like, I can build websites. I could make that into a business if I wanted to, but I hate that so much. So it's like, I couldn't be a copywriter, but I could be a copy editor, I guess would be the term.
But you don't want to sit through like the bulk of data. It's like, give me a rough draft of like the streamlined version. And then I'll take it from being like, okay, you took a bunch of metal and assembled it into something that kind of looks like a car. Let me turn it into a sports car.
I think like what I'm good at is taking something that already exists and refining it. And I feel like if I develop that skill, I would have the potential to possibly get to the level of Jay Abraham, where he's like, I forget what it was, but it's like he went in at some point. It's like there was a company that had an ad in a newspaper magazine or something like that. And he's like, right, I'm just gonna reword this and I'm gonna make like, I forget what it was, but let's say like 10% of the profits that you make as a result of this. And like the sales like tripled and he made like a crap ton of money for going in and like rewriting a couple sentences. So it's like, I feel like I have the potential to get to that level. Kind of like, I think that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing with my newsletter. So I'm going to be finding offers and products and going to be like, all right, they have their whole sales copy and their videos and everything. But like, let me condense it into like 1 or 2 sentences or 1 or 2 paragraphs in email to be like, all right, this is what it's about. If you want to learn more, go to the sales page. It's going to be all the information you can ever want. But I guess you're right. I could offer that as a service. The thing is, how do I offer that as a service if I've never done it and I have no way of telling people like, hey, I've done this and it works?
Well, I have a sales page there for Jessica's workshop that I could let you take a look at. And it's a story. It's not a traditional sales page. It's like I wrote her story about manifesting her cancer treatment as like an emotional customer journey. But I can let you take a look at it and see like how can you make it shorter or punchier.
Sure. Sounds not fun
What
at
if we
all.
did that? What if we did that on the live? What if we do
Sounds
our
super boring, but sure.
Well, I guess, yeah, to watch it would probably suck.
I don't know. I like this idea of like not creating anything, but it's like streamlining.
Okay, well, I had
Coming
another
into,
idea as you were talking.
okay,
What about like copytainment, where it's like the goal is to be as entertaining or as engaging as possible, whether you're gonna buy or not. So it's like I can get you to basically read the whole offer. And then once you've read it, then you know if the person buys it, it's like, I don't know. I don't know whether that's something people
sounds
want or
like
not.
a lot of work. Also, I'm realizing that people just don't read anymore. So if you want a text sales page, might as well be short.
Mhm.
Like still, like people like Russell Brunson still have like super long sales pages and everything, and it's like, okay, it might work, but people don't read it.
Mhm.
So it's like, I feel like the most effective way is a bit of text copy and a video, and that's it.
Mhm.
It's like grab their attention, convince them why they need to play the video, and then in the video, just quickly share like a story of why
Yeah.
why they need this. So it's like, I don't know, it can be a personal story of like, all right, and as an example for my business would be like, do you want to make money online? And this is the answer with like arrows pointing to the video. And the video, it's like, all right, I spent the last 14 years trying a bunch of different businesses online and I kept getting overwhelmed by everything. So this is very distracting. And it's like, yeah, so I spent the last 14 years trying a ton of different businesses and realizing that I kept getting overwhelmed by everything. And the solution is to just keep things as simple as possible. But did you have an
Is
idea?
is there a way to do a video newsletter?
I thought of it. The only problem is it's way more work for me because I have to record the videos every single day. Well, not every day, but it's like I need one for every day.
Is it not easier to like just talk off the cuff for 5 minutes than to like write something?
No, because the emails are going to be super short because it's literally like ask a question. Let's say like the product I'm selling is how to build your business on YouTube.
Mhm.
So the question, which would probably be the subject line, would be, do you want to build a business on YouTube? And then the email is just an answer is like, all right, here's why you should build a business on YouTube. Here's a link below. Literally like 1 or 2 paragraphs with the link. That's it.
So so you're basically just creating a prompt. Like you open a loop with the subject line and then you say, here's the call to action. Click here to close this loop.
Pretty much. And it's like, I don't need to pre-sell because that's not what I do. I just present them with offers. So my goal is just grab their attention, explain briefly why they should click on the link. They click on the link and I let the sales page do the rest. And if they want to buy, they can buy. If they don't, they don't. Not my problem.
Hmm.
Because the whole like pitch of this, the value is twofold. One
This
is you
is
get a bunch of different offers that you don't have to go out and research. Two is it's super simple.
Mhm. I think
Literally
you
like
I think you I think you have a
question,
really
answer, link.
I mean, everybody says that long sales copy sells, um, which if that's what you're measuring for, then sure, I'm sure you can see that. I'm wondering if this is like a new way to do email, like I don't know. It feels like if you just did SEO research on like, what do people search for? Make those your subject lines. It's like, as you're typing in, how do I what does autofill give you? It's like, that's what you put in your subject lines. It's like, you want to start something on YouTube, click on, like, here's a great program that does exactly that, and is making people money.
Actually, like, okay, this is a completely different business idea, and I don't think it's right for me, but it would be cool. It's like, that is your newsletter. Every day you just like send them, it's kind of like entertainment. You know how it's like, you see those videos on YouTube of actors who answer like the most asked questions about them on like Google?
Mhm.
It's kind of that same principle of like, all right, what's the most asked question on Google? All right, here's the number one answer. And if you've structured in such a way, it's like, all right, this is a product, so you get a commission every time someone buys. It could be a business. But I do like your idea of like using market research to figure out what products do I want to promote.
Yeah, and if you like limited yourself to like, all right, I'm gonna spend 60 seconds on this. What's my subject line gonna be? Like, just do a couple of quick, and then that's what it is. It's like, don't spend a lot of energy and be like, oh, it's the perfect like little like, nobody's using this little niche, and I can be like the only guy. It's like, who cares? If
Except
it's in
now I'm one,
somebody's inbox, you're the only thing they're looking at. You're not competing with anybody.
I'm just wondering, like, what you say is smart and makes sense, but I'm wondering if it's just complicating things for nothing. Because literally all I have to do is find a product that seems good, that is going to, generate a decent amount of money if I make a sale, sign up as an affiliate, and literally ask whatever question that product answers. So if it's YouTube, it's like, do you want to build a business on YouTube? It's like, hey, I found this product that allows you to build a business on YouTube. It looks really cool. Check it out. Here's the link.
Mhm.
It's like, craft the question as a result of the product, not like ask the questions like, all right, what product can I find that answers that question?
Mhm.
So it's like, for the one that I'm doing, it's like, do you want to copy someone else's business? Like, hey, I found this program that walks you step by step to copy this guy's business. He made $100 million online, so he knows what he's talking about. There's a link below.
Mhm. What if you
Like,
could?
to me, that seems way better
Yeah.
because I'm not an expert copywriter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's
let
like,
them do that. Like Anthony Morrison, like he made $100 million online. He's either a really good copywriter or he hires really good copywriters.
mhm.
I don't need to try to sell. I just need to grab the person's attention, like convince them, like, hey, you should click on this link, and then let them do what they do best, which is sell their product.
Mhm.
Hmm. I guess I'm basically a hype man.
The best middlemen are.
Hmm. So I guess, is there a way to use my skills to increase the conversion? So it's like, my skills are not copywriting. Not yet, at least. It's like, my skills are storytelling. So I think I can use storytelling to get them to sign up to my newsletter. But once they're on it, I don't think I need to use storytelling. I just need to be very to the point. It's like, question, answer, link. That's it. Yeah, once again, I come back to, I'm overthinking this. I don't need to overthink this.
Yeah. You just need to do it. especially me, because there isn't a lot of shortcut to what I gotta do.
Actually, isn't that what you have to do? A lot of shortcuts?
Yeah. Oh, snap. I wonder if I can find, I wonder if I can find a VA that does exactly what I'm doing, that
Ooh,
charges less than 20 bucks an hour.
definitely. You can probably find some for like 10 bucks an hour.
Hmm. Maybe it's time to get a VA.
Oh. Ooh. Okay. What if I could be a copywriter, but not in the way that you think? Because most people, it's like, oh, I'm going to hire you to be a copywriter, so I expect you to write the sales copy for me. What if instead I just find someone whose job that is, who doesn't charge so much? It's like, all right, write the copy for me, and then I just go through and edit it and delete all the quote unquote crappy stuff.
We should do that. We should start a copywriting agency. No, I'm serious. Like, one of the groups that I follow, that's literally what they teach, is using VAs to do the market research, to outline the framework and the structure of the ad. They write the ad using AI copywriting programs, and then you just review it. So they can construct a working ad that converts, that, and they use they like rent third-party data to help bring the ad, so they can build these super hyper custom lookalike audiences from like billions, like trillions of names, these databases. So they're able to hyper target, and the ad cost is a lot lower than, like, if you're just throwing, you know, 5 or 10 bucks of advertising on Facebook. It's like your costs can be a couple $100 a lead. But if you're, yeah, I, I'd like to look into that. Like, if we could find a team of like 3 or 4 VAs who, they like the researching part, they like the looking up and the breaking stuff down. Or honestly, even if we could find some coaches that wanted to do it, they don't really care about like the running the business part, but if they like the copy process of researching and writing, I don't know. I'm sure that door will open up when it's meant to. Probably not right now.
I don't know what's coming up for me. It's like we keep getting these ideas of businesses where we don't really have to do the work. Every time we do, we hit the wall when it's like, how do we find clients?
By asking the right question.
Or maybe it's not asking the right question, but it's asking the right person. If we find someone who's really good at finding people, we don't need to do it. Because like, that's always been the issue, at least for me in business. Like, I've always been very good at pretty much most things when it comes to business because I've learned it through the years, but I've never figured out how to easily get clients. If I can find someone who's really good at that, then all the businesses we've been thinking about of like, all right, well, if we can easily find clients, then we can easily farm out the work that we're going to be offering to them. But without easily being able to find clients, there's little point in setting up the rest because no one's going to pay us. So what is the question that we need to ask in order to find the person who can do that for us? Like the kind of person we're like, all right, we want that kind of person, go find that person for us. We'll pay you. And then we can do whatever we want with that person. Okay, that sounded weird, but you know what I mean? So it really comes back to that principle of like, we need to find a finder. Someone who can just go out and find whatever we need, whoever we need.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think the thing that is
I'm still going back to that business idea we had a while back of like, how did we describe it? It's like, we find like a VA agency to find us clients, and then we get another VA agency to get the clients for those clients. Like, pitch, we're going to get you clients, but we don't actually do any of the work.
Okay, yeah, let's talk that through again, because I feel like that was a cool idea, but I don't remember exactly how
Well,
it
because
works.
the principle is like, all right, we're gonna like our offer is we're gonna find clients for your business. We don't actually want to find clients for their business. We don't know how to find clients for their business. So we find an ad agency that goes out and finds the clients for that person. But we also don't want to go out and find that person. So we find another agency to go out and find us those clients. So it's like one ad agency gets us clients. Our offer that we make to that client is we're going to get you clients for your business. And then we go out and find another ad agency who just goes and finds clients for their business. So we never actually do any work.
So we're hiring an agency to do lead gen for us.
Yeah, so it's like one agency gets us clients and the other agency fulfills on our offer, which is to get clients for our clients. And as long as the like we charge more to the clients than the agency charges us, then we make a profit.
Yeah, so we would basically need to be finding like our clients would be people who their average lifetime customer value is quite high. It's like it's very valuable to them to find new clients.
Mhm.
So like real estate agents, ultra high ticket coaching, cosmetic surgeons, that kind of stuff.
Once again, maybe we're overcomplicating this. Like it's a good idea, but I feel like there's a lot of different moving parts. And it's like, because it's all kind of like theoretical, there's a lot of ways in which it could break when we try to make it happen in the world.
Yeah.
Whereas like, if we take the Jay Abraham principle of, all right, there's a company who's selling promotions on billboards because no one's buying them, and there's a person who wants to promote their business, I'm just going to connect the two, make a crap ton of money. Like that's the kind of business, like the simplicity of the kind of business I want to do, which is why I'm attracted to the whole newsletter thing, because it's like, well, all I need to do is get an audience. And then I just show a product to those people. If they buy, I get paid. So it's literally connecting the two. And then like the part I haven't fully mastered is how do I grow the audience without having to do the work myself?
Okay, I wonder. Instead of doing, yeah, I think this might work. Okay, let me think for a second.
Did you fall asleep?
I'm trying to figure out what we're trying to do here with this like agency arbitrage.
Something came up for me though. And it was the principle of getting someone else to build the business for you.
Mhm.
So it's like, all right, in my case, if I can go out and find someone who's good at building audiences for newsletters and hire them, that means that I need to go out and work to generate money to be able to pay them. But I just need to do that once, because once I pay them and once I set up that business, it's going to be generating money. And I can take that money to then go out and hire someone else to build a different business. And I just keep building businesses and businesses and businesses, and they all keep generating income. And I only had to like get a job once and work hard once to generate the money to pay that person to build that first business. And maybe that's the principle of attracting money that grows money. Ooh, what if we apply that to business? What if we can build a business that builds other businesses? Hmm. Oh, what if, remember a while back when I was talking about like newsletters and stuff? I'm like, all I need to do is find someone who has an audience, find someone who has an offer, connect the two and get paid. What if I find a way to use that principle to do that and at the same time build my list?
Okay, so I think this might work. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. You get 3 or more. Maybe you just start with 2 or 3. Lead gen agencies who have different acquisition methods. And so you create a joint venture. You become the middleman of like coordinating. But you basically say, okay, so the goal is we're all good at they're all good at generating leads. So why aren't you generating the leads for yourself? So, I mean, they generate leads for other people. So I'm sure that they like, if they can do it for themselves, they can do it for other people. The idea is, I mean, I think this is what you're saying. It's like, how do you do it for other people while building your own list? And that's what you do as the lead gen agency, is you build your own list. But if you partner in a joint venture partnership with other lead gen agencies that have different methods, different ways to get a different kind of audience. So like if you have a lead gen agency that specializes in like people on LinkedIn, a lead gen agency that specializes in Facebook ads, and lead gen agency that specializes in YouTube. So then you're all pulling from different pools, but then the clients that you're actually getting that are like looking for the leads, like you're gonna have some overlap, some spill of like, okay, in the process of finding those leads, you're gonna get junk leads, people that aren't a good fit for my thing, but maybe they're a good fit for somebody else's thing. And so so it's like, maybe these people aren't at a stage in their business where they want to pay somebody else to get leads, but they still need, they still need leads. They still need, like if they're a coach that does energy healing and they're not a coach who like does business coaching where they have a huge high ticket program, it's like that person's not going to be right for the agency. But that person might be the right person for somebody else on like out of the junk data that any of the lead gen agencies generate, like that overflow data could still be useful in terms of connecting those people. So I wonder if there's some value in saying like, okay, we're gonna find agencies and they're gonna do lead acquisition at cost and do like a data sharing, like data pool or something, where you figure out how do you slice the data up? How is it that you are separating and categorizing your people? And then of the people that are not super valuable, maybe on your own list of, however many hundreds of thousands of people you've generated, maybe somebody else has a list where we find a way that those people become valuable for somebody else's list.
So it's kind of like lead recycling, I guess.
Yeah.
I like the idea. I'm just wondering, like, how would you implement that?
I'm not really sure.
So I'm just like, the default question that I have in the back of my head now is like, are we overcomplicating things? What is the simplest version of what we want to do? And what we want to do is make money.
Mhm.
So what if we're overcomplicating? Because yesterday you proved the principle of you can run your business or even launch your business by asking the right question. You proved that yesterday. We came
Yeah.
up with the concept. Within 5 minutes, you implemented it. Within 2 hours, you got your first paying client.
Right.
So what if we hone in on that business of like, all right, we're going to simplify your entire business to one simple question. And all you have to do is go out there and ask that question to every single person who might be a fit for your business until one person says yes. And that's your entire marketing strategy. It's like we take pre-existing business and just like shrink everything down to one simple question.
One question offers.
Exactly. It's like, that would be so valuable because if you have a business, like let's say a coaching business, and you're always like struggling to create content and get your message out there and to get people, it's like, imagine how much simpler your life would be if all you have to do is ask one question. Like that would be super valuable. Like in the beginning, we can charge $1,000, but if we like see it works a few different times, we're like, all right, this works. We can charge 5,000, 10,000 bucks.
Yeah.
And it's
Okay.
like that,
Yeah.
that question
Okay.
becomes their slogan and their pitch at the same time. It's like we see big companies like the slogan works, like Nike, just do it.
Mhm.
It's like it's that same principle, but with a question.
Yeah. Okay. So
Like,
so
what
let's
is
do
the
it.
question that the answer is their business? So we just work with them and like figure out, all right, what's your business about? Who are the people you help and everything? It's like we just keep talking until we figure out like what is that one question they need to ask that the answer is me, my business, my coaching, my offer, whatever that
Yeah.
is.
Okay. So you know a little bit about Randy, and you
Mhm,
know kind of what he's trying to do.
mhm.
So let's just float like what could the question be that would that the answer to the question is I want to be one of the first ones to help build this.
Hmm. All right.
Sort of like what if you could start the church you wish you had? Or what if I mean, let's see, the question I asked was, do you want me to build your audience for you? I asked a similar question.
What do you wish religion was like?
hmm,
And the answer is, well, this.
hmm, hmm,
And if not, like, if anything, you ask that question a bunch of times,
hmm,
you're going to get a bunch of answers.
hmm.
And if it's not the right fit, it's like, it's going to tell you exactly what the right fit is.
Right. Hmm.
And I think like that's literally it because you ask like, what do you wish religion was like?
Hmm.
And depending on the answers, you're like, all right, that answer that you gave fits what my thing is. So you're like, oh, cool. By the way, we're creating this thing. Are you interested?
Hmm.
And the other question, like the other answers that aren't a right fit, well, first of all, it's like, okay, cool. I know that person's not right, but it might
Hmm.
also give you ideas like, oh, yeah, that is really cool. Maybe we should do that too. So it's kind of like a combination of marketing and market research at the same time. So it's like double value. The sound is very, very bad. It's like super crackly and muffled.
simply pop up and say, I'm that person.
Oh, you're that person. I didn't hear anything else.
Nothing interesting.
No, because the sound was literally like.
That's weird.
It seems good now, though.
Okay. No, I was saying this is lead gen. Like this is what lead gen is figuring out what's the right thing you need to put out there for people to raise their hand and say, I'm that person.
Ooh, what if that was our strategy for lead gen? Like, we don't actually do lead gen for you. We just tell you, this is the question you need to ask to do lead gen.
Yeah. Yeah, if we could get it successfully down to where, I mean, okay, so now I want to go test this in a bunch of groups. I need to figure out like what is the right form for this question at the end, but I think what you just said is like, what do you wish church was? Or like if church didn't exist, what would you invent? What do you wish religion actually was like?
I can't believe how genius this is. Like, businesses for, I don't know how long, have always been like, all right, let's try to like pitch and show everything that we are. It's like literally ask a question, people answer, and the answer that they're asking for is your business.
Yeah, if you can ask the right questions so that they answer with, I need this, and your business is exactly that, you win.
Okay, so what would be the question we need to ask in order to sell our asking question business? Like our offers, like, all right.
If you could make money with one question, would you do it?
Seems a little on the nose. I like it, but.
Well, I mean, anybody who says no, we don't want to work with them. Anybody who says yes, we'll be
True.
like, well, then pay us and you can start asking one question and make money. I mean, we could literally try it for like $1. Like sit on one of our nothing interesting episodes. We'll talk to you for 2 hours and just annoy the crap out of you, and we'll come out with one question. It's like, you go ask that in like 15 groups and see what happens. I mean, okay, we should do this for Jessica. What's the right question that Jessica should be asking over? I had a conversation with her yesterday for 2 hours. She's like, you know how Jessica is when she's doing lives or teaching, like her performance, Jessica, is different than her like relaxed, playful self. I'm like, if that person came out to play more often in public, people would just be magnetically drawn to her. And that's the energy of what she does with money. It's like, if she can teach people that the way you feel drawn to me is what you can become to money. And like, that's what I feel like I've learned from her, is like, by getting clear on what is it that you actually want, and then what do you need to do, that's the thing that magnetizes you to money. So what's the right question for Jessica to ask to zero in on the right kind of person? Because it's not just, do you want to make more money online? It's a specific kind of person who is interested in like being different and energetically shifting.
It's hard to say because she's currently like transitioning her business. So I'm not 100%
Her business is
sure exactly what it is like, because she went from like more manifestation money to more like energetic work and like, so she's still in that transition period and I'm not really sure. I think we need to wait till she's like done transitioning and
Mhm.
she's clear, like, all right, this is my business. Then I think we could like go in and ask and figure out what her question is. But right now, because it's changing, I don't think we could figure it out.
I like how you said our friend is transitioning.
I didn't even realize that. But yeah, what would be the question that we need to ask? And the solution would be our question business. Because like we have the question for your business, we have the question for my business. What is the question for this business?
Do you get paid every time you make a post? If you find the right question, like, and you're in the right group, I mean, if you're in front of the right audience, the right question will inevitably land you a client. I think
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
I
Because
think that's the promise. I think we need to make sure we figure out the parameters, like, are you talking to the right group of people? Do they understand the question?
but
But if you ask the right question, the one question, you should be able to get a client.
I think that's the beauty of this. Because you ask one specific question, if it's the right audience, you're going to get clients. If it's not the right audience, you're going to know it's not the right audience. Whereas if you're trying to like pitch and you try a bunch of different stuff, you're probably going to get clients that aren't right for you.
Mhm.
This is like foolproof. It's like either you get the client or you don't. Either way, you
Mhm.
know if you're doing the right thing or not.
Yeah. Okay, so is that the right question to ask?
What if you've been doing marketing wrong this entire time? Not really the right question, but still a thought-provoking one.
Okay.
Are you an idiot?
Are we an idiot?
I think we are.
The two of us, we're not even a whole idiot. We just, it
Exactly.
takes.
We're like half an idiot. Together, we're an idiot. What is the one question you need to ask in order to generate an endless supply of clients? I don't know. It's funny how it's like, it seems relatively easy to come up with a question to a business. Because like we did it for yours, we did it for mine, we did it for Randy's.
Mhm.
And it seems like the one business we can't come up with a question for is the exact business of coming up with questions for a business.
Okay, that's because we're looking at the mechanism. We're not actually looking at the result, right?
Okay.
So the right question is, what if you didn't have to pay for leads? Like, do you want to be able to get free leads on demand?
But I don't think it's not necessarily about free. It can be free,
Mhm.
but it can also be paid because you can literally make an ad on
Right.
Facebook
Mhm.
and it's like, do you want to make money online? The answer is my newsletter. Or, what do you wish religion was like? And it's like, all right, the answer is sign up to my group because I'm trying to create what I believe religion should be like.
Mhm.
So it's like, it's not necessarily about being free. It's about
Mhm.
never have to write another piece of marketing ever again because you have that one question that you can ask and it's automatically going to filter out everyone who isn't right
Yeah.
and going to attract everyone who is right. And then it's up to you whether you want to pay for it or not. It's kind of it's setting up a one question business.
Yeah. All right. One question. Okay, so this is the thing. I okay, we've got to. I really want to find an answer to this. Or maybe we're trying too hard. Like, let's talk about butts or something. Like, what's the one question we need to ask to get people to watch this show?
Oh, I like that. Are you dumb enough to watch this?
Are you smart enough to be dumb?
Ooh. Hmm. I really like that. Are you smart enough to be dumb? What is floating?
I mean, that's technically uh, the answer is this.
Do you want to be our friend? Except we'll never actually talk to you and we'll pretend like you're not even there. Are you are you big enough of a loser to watch this show? Hmm. Why not? Ooh, what is the point of life? The answer is there is no point, so let's just talk about random crap and have fun. Why are you watching YouTube?
What would you do you if you never had to worry about leads again? I mean, is that really what people want, leads? Or is it clients, or is it a business that makes enough money?
Ooh. Do you want a business that markets itself?
Inevitable business, inevitable clients. Oh, okay. Okay, let's do it this way. Instead of trying to figure out what's the right question to ask for the question business, like, how do we let go of anything that's keeping us from seeing what we need to see? What?
Dude. I just realized like a very good strategy. It's like, okay, once you have that question that defines your business, what if you go out and hire like 10 VAs and just like, hey, go find a bunch of different audiences, ask that question over and over again. It's like, you don't even need to do the work. You find someone who's going to do this cheap. And it's like, you literally do not have to do anything. It's like, go find the groups or the audiences that are likely to answer yes to this question and just go ask him that question a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be a lot easier to make money than I thought. Because once you build the assets of like, okay, you need a handful of posts that are not trying to sell people. It's like they know who you are, they care about you, they care about your values, they like you as a person. Like, and that's something I'm really good at, is creating emotion where like people like you. Then once they know who you are, then you've earned the right to ask that question, and people will engage without feeling like you're trying to sell them. But the right people are going to start answering. And it's like that, this might take a couple days, and just start dumping that in all of the groups that allow you to post whatever. Just warm up the audience, engage with their stuff, post the things that tell them who you are and what you care about. Like, here's some cool stories about me that, and
Dude,
then drop the, it's like a client bomb.
this is how to build our VA agency. It's like, do you want us to build your business for you? Okay, what's your business? Okay, this is the question we need to ask. We're going to go find a bunch of VAs. You just pay them for us and they go out and do the work. So you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Just pay us to come up
we
with a
literally
question,
just have
pay the VAs to do the work for you, and
Mhm.
you pretty much keep getting clients and you don't have to do anything.
Okay, what if you had like, okay, this is gonna be stupid. Let's just go to stupid land let's just go to stupid land for a minute. What if you could have like a subscription?
I already live in stupid land. I don't need to go there.
My mansion just sits there on the,
Yeah, we're
okay.
like, we have a huge mansion on the
We've
top
built
of
a
the hill,
city
center of stupid land.
exactly. Okay, so what if you had a subscription service like Netflix that instead of scrolling through movies, you're just scrolling through leads, like potential clients, and it's like you get to pick, oh, I want to work with that person, and they're ready to pay you. It's like people that are on there that are like, I want what this person has, hook me up. And so you're picking the people you get to work with instead of trying to, like, we give you so many leads that you get to just pick the ones that are like dream clients.
Or what if we find multiple businesses that have the same question? And we just literally do the work once and get paid like 10 times.
Mhm.
Because it's the same system. So
Right?
it's literally like, okay, all these businesses have the same question and their business is the answer to that question. Let's just get a bunch of VAs and go out there. And it's like,
Bro,
we just send the leads to all 10 of those companies.
okay, this is what we're selling. It's Tinder for business owners. It's like, would you like to just swipe and click on the people you want to work with? It's like you're looking for matches of, like, we're basically facilitating connection. So if you had a platform where people can review like who it is and what you do, and like we're not even generating leads, we're like, do you want to find a coach that isn't trying to sell you? It's like you can swipe through all the profiles of people that's like, oh, I need an energy coach, or like whatever. And then the people who are business owners, they can swipe through clients who are like, I'm looking for X kind of service or whatever. Like you're just literally having a gigantic pool of data. So you go, like, once you figure out the question, which is like, okay, so for energy coach, like, do you wish you had more energy or whatever? I mean, maybe that's not what an energy coach does, but like, so you find that, and then all of a sudden, every energy coach is like, would you like us to generate leads for you? You know, for like $5 a month, like unlimited amount of potential clients. And that, would you like us to hand you a bunch of clients that you can pick from?
Oh, dude, I just realized like we don't even need to hire VAs. We could just be like, all right, we find the question that the only question you ever need to ask for your business. And then you can either take that question and go do it yourself. So like create Facebook ads or go in Facebook groups and like find the audience and just ask that question over and over again. Or we can hook you up with this VA agency or like lead gen agency that we work with, and they can do the work for you. So it's like, we don't need to find any of the VAs or do any of the work. We find the company and we partner with them. We're like, hey, every time we send you a client, we get a commission. So we get paid by the client to find that question. And then they pay the lead gen agency we work for to find the client for them. And we get a commission every time they do that. So it's like we literally have the like do it yourself version and the done for you version, and we don't even need to do the done for you version.
Yeah.
We get paid for them to do the done for you version.
Is there such a thing like that as like an app for coaching services?
Lead gen app, that would be cool.
I mean, that's what you would sell to the coaches, but I mean, for the general like public, what kind of service would that be? Like instant expert or something. It's like get somebody who knows exactly what you're trying to do to help you, whatever.
I like the idea. I just think we might be overcomplicating things again. Just like the basis is just we need to find people who want to simplify their business
Mhm,
and not like ever have to worry about marketing, because either they have that one question they can keep asking over and over again,
mhm,
or they have that one question and they just firm out the work to VAs or an agency. I'm realizing the power of this question, because like, as an example for my business, like all I need to do is find people with audiences and get them to send an email to their list asking the question, do you want to make money online? There's this guy who runs a newsletter who's never going to try to sell you and who's going to send the best money making opportunities to your inbox every day. Here's the
mhm,
link. And it's like the pitch is literally the question. So it's like this principle of just ask a question and your business is the answer can work
mhm.
in like every single way imaginable. The autopilot business question formula. And it's actually, we've already seen this before, because in copywriting, they're like one of the best subject lines is questions.
Mhm.
So it's like, if you ask the right question, people are going to want to know the answer. And if the answer is buy my product, then you're going to make money from that.
Mhm.
It's like, it seems so simple, because most people are like, okay, this is my business. So like, how do I pitch my business? How do I show the value? How do I show social proof? Like, you don't need any of that if you have the
Mhm.
right question, because you ask your question, it's like, oh, do you want to make money online? If the person answers yes, like, and you provide like a decent solution, they won't care about like anything else. It's like, I had a
Yeah.
question, you have the answer, cool.
Mhm.
Do you want us to build your business for you?
Dang. No wonder Randy was willing to pay me $1,000. He was saying that the the company that because he does like high ticket um, closing. And
Yeah,
he
yeah.
says that the company that he works for, like you have to generate your own leads.
Mm.
He says the leads that they generate are expensive. They're like $300 a person. So like, I mean, so for him, he's thinking finding the right people, like the
Dude,
framework that he's used to is like it cost me $300 to find one good fit. What?
can we apply this business to this strategy to sales? Like as an example, the other day I was like on Indeed. I'm like, let's apply to a few jobs just to like, open the door and see what happens. Like one of them was a real estate agent job, and I'm like, I have no interest in that, but whatever. So it's like I applied, and I'm pretty sure it was that one, but it's like we're gonna provide the leads. All you need to do is, close the deals. What if you did that? Like, what if you figured out what is the question that I need to ask those people in order to get the sale? And since they're already providing the leads, I don't need to do anything. All I need to do is ask that question. So like, what would that question be? It's like, if we can figure that out, like, because real estate pays like really well. You can make like 10, $20,000 off one sale. So if you find the right question and the company's already giving you all the leads, you can make a crap ton of money really fast.
Okay, for some reason I like completely zoned out. So
For
you're
some
gonna have
reason,
to
you like
say it again. I zoned out and I
that.
didn't hear anything that you said. So you were saying about like a
Yeah, so because I applied to a job and it was real estate, and they're like, we're gonna give you the leads. All you have to do is just like, close a deal. And real estate pays really well. You can make like 5, 10, $20,000 off a sale. So what if we find the right question to ask? And since they already provide the leads, like what is that question I need to ask to get people to buy a house? And I could
Oh
make
my
a crap ton
gosh,
of money really fast that way.
damn. Okay, so the right way to use this idea isn't necessarily like generating leads. I mean, although you could do that. But what
Yeah,
if it was like, what if you could do like, what's the right question to get somebody to raise their hand? And then what's the right question to close them?
Mhm.
So, I mean, I think you also probably need what's the right question to qualify them. So it's like, find the lead, qualify them, and then close them. So you need 3 questions. And if you could come up with the right question, maybe you could have a question that does all 3 of those things at the same time, depending on the business you have.
I feel like,
Like if you're a business owner with a provable lead gen system, you don't care about soul fit clients, you don't care about who you're going to work with. It's like, this is what I do, this is what it costs. Do you want the service? I don't care anything about you. So it's like, I don't need to qualify you. I don't need to like, do you have the money? Here's what I'm going to do for you. There's certain service type businesses that you could do 1 question. If somebody comes in with a bunch of like emotional requirements, then you might need like qualification. I wonder if you could still do that with 1 question.
but I'm just wondering, like, is this thing powerful enough to use and like completely dominate in the market? Like as an example of like, real estate, it's like, all right, what is your dream home? And if you can figure out exactly what that is, it's just a question of, all right, let's find that home for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, if there's a question, like that kind of question that I can ask, and it's like, is it possible to like do 2, 3 times, 10 times more sales than other people because other agents are like, I have to sell this home. So how can I trick people into buying it?
Would you like to know the one question that finds leads and closes them at the same time? Like that's kind of starting to get into the right zone of like, what's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
right question to ask for our question? But I think you're right. Like, I think this has more application than just what we're looking at right now.
Like it's definitely good for
Dude,
business. Like if
this
there's
is
a
this.
real world quick application to this, where it's like, as the example of real estate, it's like real estate, you can make a lot of money very quickly if you make sales.
Mhm.
Just like if we can use that principle to make sales, that could be a super effective way to make a bunch of money quickly
Mhm.
and like launch our businesses like super fast. Man, this, I
All right.
feel like just found like a gold mine, It's like we're just like
Yeah.
walking around, we hit something like, hey, that looks like gold. We just dig a bit like, oh crap.
Yeah. That's what I feel like this is. It's like you just we're walking along, you see a boulder that's like there's a little vein of gold like going into the ground. You just see like the edge of it. It's like we're rich, not really, because all we're doing is looking at gold. But like if we go get some pickaxes, we get some shovels, like we sit here and dig, like we can, this is ours. So it's like in the sense of manifesting, it's like, okay, so if you picture this is the business that we can build together. Because we're geniuses at asking stupid questions and just circling around nonsense until the right thing just pops up.
Dude, I have the perfect question. What is the right way to use this to make a crap ton of money?
Okay. What if we're more specific?
Okay.
How can we use this to generate $100,000 in 90 days?
In the next what?
In the next 90 days.
90. How about 100 and 100? Oh, it's $1,000 a day.
Sure. Okay, so
All right, real estate seems like it could be a good one just because you get a lot of money for every single sale. High ticket closing also, but I feel like you would need experience for that. Like, it's funny because like, you know, the like real estate thing, like it was such like a thing for so long of like everyone's like a real estate agent.
are we doing this the wrong way?
But
I remember the other day we were talking about asking the universe for stuff, and we realized that asking things on social media or in public, in front of an audience, is more or less the same thing as asking the universe, maybe a smaller chunk of the universe. So if that's the case, can we just ask one question at a time to like narrow the thing down to what it is we're trying to find? So it's like, we want to make $100,000 in 100 days. How do we do that using like a one question framework? Or, you know, I mean, I don't know, that's probably the stupid way to do it, like literally asking, but like, how do you like get, okay, we don't know exactly how to dial it in, but how do you ask the right question that gets rid of like 80% of the audience? It's like, okay, what's the right question based on what those people are talking about? What's the right question to like zero in on the paying people in that group? It's like, can you use one question at a time to like sculpt and like chop up your audience till you get to the like the people who are, oh, that's my niche, that's my clients. Those are the people who are ready to pay.
dude, I just realized something. Like what you did yesterday. We're just like, you know, we came up with the concept and you asked a question and you got a client. It's like, all right, it's cool. But it's like, when you think about it, it's like, how do I make $1,000 in a day? Ask a question. Like when you see it from that perspective, it's like, you made $1,000 in a day. That's insane.
Okay, could I do it again today? If the goal is make $100,000 in 100 days, all we have to do is make $1,000 a day. So honestly, like if we said, oh, if we did $500 a day and split the work up, it's like, what could you do that's valuable enough that over the course of one day you could make $500? Like, what question could you ask that's like, the answer to that's worth $500 for me? Like, there's a lot of things, or even breaking it up to like, could you ask something that's like a fuck yes for like 5 people? And then it's like, you know, it's like less than $100 a pop. So you're starting to get into like, I think realizing like you can break up the like the pot, like by being that specific. Oh, that's really magical. That's what, holy shit. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like by asking the right question and chunking it down into like something closer to what you're trying to figure out. That's what I just did by saying, instead of saying like, what's the right way to use this question? The answer to that question was shrink it, like niche down. So we niche down to like, how do we use this question to make $100,000 in 90 days, or like to make their math round out in 100 days. So now we know that the KPI is make $1,000 a day. And so like you're all of a sudden like making the goal achievable by actually understanding what it is. And so can we use that principle? Like, can you help somebody understand what it is that they're saying yes or no to with the question? That's what the, like, do you want me to build an audience for you? It gets you close enough to what you're going to get with working with me, that somebody's like, oh yeah, I need that.
I think the right question is the question that gets people to take immediate action.
Mhm.
That is the right question. So it's like, for my business, like, do you want to make money online? Yes. Okay, sign up here.
Mhm.
For Randy's thing, it's like, what would religion, or what do you wish religion was like? This, oh, this is what we're trying to do. Do you want to go? Do you want to like join us?
Mhm.
And it's just like, yeah, it's like, that's the question. I think we need to keep like asking questions until we get to that point where it's like a no-brainer. Just like if we use the state example of like, all right, what's your dream home? Okay, they describe it. Okay, that's your dream home. If I can find you that home, do you want to buy it right now?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Let's go visit it right now. And it's like, if you have access to that network of homes and you have access to those clients, those leads that you don't actually have to go out and find,
Mhm.
you really have to ask the question. It's like, all right, that's your ideal home. Let me look. Okay, we have one that's the closest one we have. Let's go check it out. And just like, I don't know, it's just, it seems too simple.
Mhm.
I think that's why it works, because it's simple.
Wonder what happens if I ask the exact same question again. Like maybe in a
Only one
different
way to
group.
find out. By the way, where did you post that question?
Freedom Initiative. Brian's group. There's like 1,700, 1,800 people in there. But the only person that really wanted to talk to me about it was Randy, and I already know him.
Yeah.
Maybe I should post it on my feed.
Yeah. I mean, you have the question now, so you can post it everywhere.
Mhm.
That would be an interesting experiment. Like, it would work better for your business than mine, because me, it's just like growing the email list. But for you, it's like, what if you decided like, okay, I'm gonna go hire a VA for a week and just get him to research, like kind of explain like, hey, this is kind of the person I'm looking for. Just go to different groups and places and everything and just ask that question.
Mhm.
And it's like, if you spend, let's say like, I don't know, $100, like what could you get as a result of that? And it's like, you
Wait,
don't even have
say
to do the work yourself.
say that again.
So it's like, you hire a VA and pay them like $100 and like, all right, go find like as many groups or different audiences and places as possible that are similar to this, and just describe your ideal client and ask that question
Mhm.
and just see what happens. Like, worst case scenario, okay, you spend $100 and nothing happened. Best case scenario is you get like 10 people who are interested or more, like you don't know.
Mhm.
And it's like, could be as simple as that. Of course, like, I don't know if you want to spend money, that's totally up to you. It's like, I would do it myself. It's just the business model
Yeah.
doesn't work for me that way.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I wonder if like this is where the market research comes into play. It's like if I could do this, ask this question in 100 groups, which I have a list of 100 groups, And then find out what happens in the conversations around that question. It's like, does that help me triangulate to be more accurate with the question? So that I can, like, how do I ask the question in a way that pre-qualifies people?
Or if we figure out the question to ask for a question business, we can both throw in like $50 and be like, go on LinkedIn, find us business owners and ask them that question.
Okay, what do you think? For $1,000, would you like me to build an audience for you?
So you say like the $1,000 in the question?
Yeah. I mean, if you know exactly how much it is, it's like, okay, I'm in. Like, I guess they would need to know what they're getting.
Yeah, I
Would you
feel
like me
like
to build? Would you like me to build you an audience? I mean, Brian's group gets him $10 a month per member. If you got 300 people times $10, it's $3,000 a month. It's like,
so
if I,
but I really think this could be good. Like I think it would work really well, both for your business and for the question asking business. Because like you need to find people who are entrepreneurs, business people. Just hire a VA to go on LinkedIn and ask that question to like 1,000 people. Like, how much would you have to pay a VA to go on LinkedIn and find like people who match whatever you tell them to look for and just send them that one question? Like, I wonder how much that would cost. Because like if they find 1,000 potential like people that would be a good fit and ask them that one question, like I feel like the conversion on that would be pretty high.
Okay, here's what you do. This is how you sell the low ticket. This is like the liquid self-liquidating offer. You ask the question, would it be worth 1,000? Like, would you pay $1,000 for me to build you an audience worth $3,000 a month? Like,
or what if
it's, and then the answer is obviously yes. Like, but some people are going to ask, well, how? So then the webinar or the masterclass or like whatever, it's like, I'm going to show you the case study. I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to show you the model that's what's happening, and we'll show you how to do it. Or you can just pay me $1,000 to do it.
I understand where you're going. I just feel like that's limiting because some people are going to want to build a small audience and some people are going to want to build a big audience. And if you're like locked in at $1,000, that kind of limits you. Whereas if you just ask like a more broad question, like, do you want me to build your audience for you? If they answer yes, then you have a conversation. It can either be like a $500 offer or a $7,000 offer, depending on exactly what you want.
Yeah. So it's sort of like you would have the sales call to figure out like what it's worth to them.
Yeah, because I feel like just asking that question, if they answer yes, it qualifies them enough to have a conversation with you.
I feel like you could do that with a form.
Yeah.
Like, what is this worth to you? Like, how many people would you like, and how much are you willing to pay?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm sure there's a bunch of different ways to do it, but I really want us to find like a question and the answer is our question business, and literally be like, all right, let's both throw in like, I don't know, $50, $100, and like, let's hire a VA to go on LinkedIn and like find the people we think would be a right fit and just ask him that question. Like, that seems really cool. Cause like, if we can charge like $1,000 a pop for that, and we pay like $100 each, and we get 2 people, well, okay, we just like 10 extra money.
Mhm.
And I feel like if we ask the right question, it's like, this is what I love about this is it's so valuable. Because like, yeah, we can charge $1,000, but like for the right company, the right person, we could charge $10,000. And it's like, we're literally having like probably a 1-hour conversation with them just to figure out this is the one question that you need to
Yeah.
ask.
Mhm.
And to them, it's super valuable because it's like, I can stop doing everything else I'm doing and just ask that one question.
Yeah. It still feels to me like people would rather pay for a service than like, oh, just give me the question and then I'll go do it.
Well, that's why we could have like 2 different offers. The base offer of like, hey, here's the question, just go and do it. Or we have this agency, so if you want, they can go out and do it for you. Or a VA or whatever. We can find like a VA agency and it's like, all right, we have this person, this is their business, this is their question. Find us a VA that's qualified to go out and ask that question to the right people. Or it could be like, yeah, we could do both. We can have like the basic option of do it yourself, that's $1,000, or it's like, all right, done for you for $10,000. Let's say it's like, we don't do anything. We just go out and find a VA and hire them and, you know, tell them what to do and they go out and do the work. I just feel like there's so much potential with this that we can't just like not do anything, you know?
Okay. Would you give me $60,000 if you knew you were going to make $365,000 out of it?
That is a very specific amount. Why those amounts?
So that's charging $5,000 a month in recurring revenue per client. So if you could sign up a client saying on a performance basis, like retain us and we'll generate you $1,000 a day, is that worth $60,000? Like you pay us $5,000 a month and we'll generate $1,000 a day for you, for your business. So that's $30,000 a month. It's like,
I feel like we would need to test this, but I feel like a lot of the times when you make claims like that, people are like, yeah, it's a scam. And it kind of like turns.
Right. And I don't think you would have the conversation in that blunt of terms, but in terms of like, if you have a system that works like that, I mean, that's what we're talking about is, can you find a question that will reliably create enough leads and close those leads that you can make $1,000 a day? I mean, there's lots of programs that have like lots of high ticket programs that have enough value in them that you could find somebody that would charge, I mean, that would pay you $1,000. And if you are asking the right question, because $1,000 is still low ticket. It's less than, you know, it's like if somebody wants to break that up into a payment of like $300 for 3 months, like they can do that on PayPal or Venmo or whatever. It's like they can afford that. That's not going to break them. And you know, if you can find, there's lots of people who have, you know, low ticket or, you know, high ticket stuff that they have something that's worth $1,000 that would be an irresistible offer. So if you ask the right question that makes it an easy yes for somebody to buy that thing.
Ooh, okay, what if we use our business to prove the business model? So it's like, we ask a question, we find the question for a business. We hire a VA, get them to go on LinkedIn and ask that question to 1,000 people. And then we get clients. And when we get those clients, the way that we sell them is, hey, the way we got you is by coming up with a question for a company, hiring a VA, getting them to do the work for us. And now here you are. This proves that it works. Man, that is. And I just love the fact that it's like, it's gonna take us like 1 hour of work to make $1,000.
Imagine, okay, if we really, okay, so the way to test this is I just need to post this question in like good giant groups. Like instead of talking about it, like let me just do it. Yeah.
And then once we figure out a question for this business, then we can just literally do it and see what happens.
I mean, actually, instead of doing it for my group, I should do it for Randy's. Like,
yeah,
let's prove that we can do it for other people.
Yeah.
Because if we can do it for other people, then we know we can do it for ourselves. Because we're willing to iterate and like make it even better for our own thing if it's valuable, and we'll learn it. Like, but yeah, if we can do it for somebody else, that's the case study. We need to be like, yeah, we blew up Randy's group like that.
Dude, once this works, like you're literally getting paid to test this business model.
Yeah, and not like getting paid by somebody else or like getting paid on the job. It's like literally just getting paid to test this.
Oh man.
That's what our business should be. It's like, how do we when we come up with a business idea, how do you get paid to test it? It's like, oh, I have this thing, I should try that. I'm not going to do any work until I can find somebody who's willing to pay me to test it.
What if all we sell is the strategy? And it's like, hey, it's $1,000 and we'll show you the strategy to use to get paid to build your business.
That would be dope, because then it's like costs you no time. If you build a sick, like short, low ticket product that's like, here's $1,000, shows you exactly what to do to come up with the one question. Just go post it in, like, this is how you do it. Here's a agency that has cheap VAs if you don't want to push the question yourself. Sit there and have a conversation with somebody. Like, do that once a day. You make $1,000 every day.
This is literally like,
and honestly, like if we do this like for 3 or 4 people, we'll have enough data, because I record all my calls. We'll have enough data that we can write a sales page that will close them. That's what the sales page is for. It's not the asking the one question to get them to raise their hand. It's answering all of their objections in an emotional way. As soon as somebody comes up, yeah, but what if this? It's like, you've already thought of that and you write it down in the sales page. Like, that's what it's for. It's a fact. It's a frequently asked questions in like a story form, basically. In a selling story form.
This reminds me of something like in the program that I'm doing, like one of the, like the last offer in the program was that, you know, that like newsletter building thing for Android. So it's like, it's guaranteed to avoid like fake emails and bots and stuff like that. And it's like, it literally opens an email that they send to you from their thing. It's like, it's a simple program that he created and he sells it for $1,000. It's like programs usually you pay like 20, 50, $100. He's selling that for $1,000. It's like every single time someone buys it, he makes $1,000 and he doesn't have to do any work.
And what program is this? It does what?
It's just like one of the big problems with newsletters is when people sign up, they either like put a fake email or they make a mistake when they
Oh.
email, or like it's bots that are like doing it.
Mhm.
It's like the way to alleviate that is it only works on Android because on your phone. Because on
Mhm.
your phone, you automatically have like your email associated with your phone. So
Oh,
the
gotcha.
program like goes in when they click on the like sign up button instead of a sign up form, it goes in their phone, opens up an email sent from their email, and it's a
Mm,
pre-written email. All they have to do is send the email to us, and then his program automatically goes in and adds it
mhm.
to their list and then sends a response to them.
Wow.
Like
Smart.
once the program was created, he literally makes $1,000 every single time someone buys it, and he doesn't have to do any work. And it's like what we're talking about kind of reminds me of that, of like, okay, we can get paid like $1,000 to not really do anything.
Dang. Okay.
Is that the way to sell our ideas? Because we're literally
Well,
just selling the idea.
holy cow, dude. Like, yeah, we're like, I'm a good enough teacher. I can like whip up something that like explains the thing in a way that people can learn it, understand it, and use it. And that's, yeah, you can sell info for hundreds or thousands of dollars by asking the right question where the answer is what you have to sell them.
And the thing is, like, it sells itself because like we ask the question, and once they sign up, it's like, all right, the strategy is figure out the right question to ask.
Mhm.
And the proof is you're here right now. If this didn't work, you wouldn't be here watching this right now. And it's like we could even have an upsell. We can be like, hey, here's kind of like the strategy to figure out what the right question is. Do it
Mhm.
yourself. Or if you want to upgrade and have a conversation with us and we figure it out together, well, it's $5,000
Mhm.
or whatever like that amount is. And it's like, I feel like that might be a little work. That's more like down the line once we test it. I think in the beginning, we just literally like ask the question. Once they answer, they show interest, then it's like, all right, book a call with us. And if it's right, then you pay us and we have the conversation and figure it out.
Mhm.
I think like that's the simplest way to begin the process. So I guess all we need to do is figure out what the right question is for our question business.
I think we need to prove that it works. And
Yeah.
we can do that with Randy's thing. And
Mhm.
if we can do that, I think the experience of it will tell us enough about what we need to ask.
All right.
My
So
guess is like,
what if this is our goal? Like we have 3 ways of testing this. We have Randy's offer, your offer, and my offer. Yours and Randy are similar in the sense that it's like more like a coaching business or something like that. And mine is like a newsletter. But it's like if we show different ways of proving this, then it just proves like it doesn't work only for one thing. It works for everything.
yeah. Okay. Would you like to make money online not specific enough? Like, would you like an easy way to make money online? Or would you like me to send you easy ways to make money online? Like, do you see what I'm saying? It's like, can you be specific enough that like the answer, which is sign up for my newsletter, is like done.
I see what you mean, but I feel like just a simple question for some reason, for me, it seems more powerful. Like, do you want to make money online? The answer is yes. And then it's like, all right, here's why, like, here's how you can do it. So it's kind of like question, answer, explanation. It's like, I understand what you mean. Like in business, people are always like, how can you be more specific? How can you niche down and everything? But I feel like in my case, like that just complicates things. The simplest version of the question feels like the right one.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is like, it depends on how you're gonna generate leads. Like if you're gonna pay for traffic, the more specific you are, the cheaper the
Well,
leads get.
in the beginning, it's going to be mostly solo ads. So finding people who have lists and who
Mhm,
are going to send an email to them. So I'm going to find people whose lists are going to be about like marketing, online business, stuff like that. So it's like it's
mhm.
already going to be the right people. So it's like if you ask someone who's already on a list that has to do with online marketing, it's like, do you want to make money online? Well, yeah, that's why I'm on this list.
Mhm.
And I mean, I feel like that's the simplest way to get started. With time, I'm probably going to validate things and maybe adjust and change. But for now, this seems like the easiest version of it. Because I feel like the simpler the question is, the easier it is. And it's like, if I can get people to send an email to their list, it's like, do you
Mhm.
want to make money online? This guy runs a newsletter where he's just sending you a bunch of different opportunities
Mhm.
every day, how you can make money online. He's not going to sell you anything. He's just giving you the options. Here's the
Mhm.
link. It's like, if I can get them to send that, and then the like pitch is like the same thing. It's like, do you want to make money online? Yes. Either
Mhm.
like quick text or video explanation, just fill in your info here and sign up. It's like
So why
that.
would somebody go from the newsletter that they're already in to your newsletter?
Because I've never seen any other newsletter who does this the way that I do. It's always like someone's newsletter. It's like, oh, well, they're selling like their products and their offers and their thing. And it's like, it's, I don't know. It's just,
I
it's different.
I
I've never
gotcha.
seen this type of thing.
I gotcha. Like they're always affiliate offers directly for somebody else's offer, and you're offering like who knows what you actually want to do. Do you
It's kind
want
of like
to
the
want to
difference
just have
between, it's the difference between Disney Plus, let's say Netflix. It's like Disney Plus, you have Disney's content. Netflix, you have everyone's content.
mm,
It's
mhm.
like, if you like only Disney, awesome, you're gonna love Disney Plus. But if you like other stuff than Disney, well, maybe Netflix is a better choice for you.
Mhm.
And I mean, maybe I'm gonna do this and it's not gonna work. And I'm like, well, now I know it doesn't work. But it's like, I need to do it to know if it works or not.
Mhm.
And I think like, even if it doesn't work, it's just a question of, all right, what, you know, incentive can I use to get them on the list? Because I feel like the basic structure of the list is strong for the right person. Anyway, the whole point is to try to validate this concept. Whether it proves it or disproves it, it's still going to be useful information.
Yeah.
And it's like, the the thing is like this, one of the big selling points is this simplicity of it.
Mhm.
Like, you get new offers to make money to your inbox, very simple, very straightforward, and you're not going to be sold. Like, you can choose to buy if you want to, but I'm never going to
Mhm.
try to sell you or convince you to do anything.
Mhm.
Whereas like every other newsletter I've ever been on, well, first of all, I never wanted to sign up. I was kind of forced to sign up because I wanted whatever they were offering. And then on there, it's always like trying to pitch me stuff that I have no interest in. All right, so I guess we're at the stage of let's go and test this.
Yeah. All right.
Do we want to put a timeline on this, or do we just want to do whatever feels right and it's gonna happen as quickly as or as slowly as it's meant to happen. Because what I'm thinking right now is like, I don't really know what I want to do next. My my reservation here expires, I think, tomorrow.
Mhm.
And I don't know if I want to go to another city or another country or whatever. So I'm thinking maybe either like book this apartment until the end of the month or another apartment here and just like focus on just this. On like launching the business, getting
Mhm.
everything set up, generating leads, really testing this out. And I'm giving myself till the end of the month to
Mhm.
do that. And once I'm there, I'm like, all right, what's my next move? Did it work? Yes. Am I generating money? Yes. Okay, I can focus all in on that. If not, should I go get a job? I feel like testing this out will give me the clarity that I need because at the moment I have no clue what I should be doing.
Yeah.
Aside, so we're the 16th today, I think.
Wow, we've been talking for 3 hours.
Whoa. So do we want to do this? Let's say like, all right, we're gonna go all in on this till the end of the month and see what happens, and then we can reevaluate from there.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel like if we're doing something on this every day, we should know by the end of the week, like, oh, this is something to really go all in on, or like, like maybe this wasn't as simple as we thought. But I feel like just testing it like pretty rigorously, like right as soon as we can. I'm gonna go post. I'm gonna go post in like 2 or 3 groups today and see what happens. See if I can get some interest in Randy's thing. Um, I'll probably post in a couple of groups the same question I posted yesterday and see if I can get a couple bites on that. But
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, for me, I think today is just gonna be relaxing and like figuring out like, okay, am I gonna make a reservation here, another place, and kind of like
Mhm.
getting all that settled out. And then
Yeah.
tomorrow, unless I'm switching apartments, then I'm gonna go like all out during the day, set up the newsletter, set everything up. And after
Mhm.
that, it's a question of every day, like, all right, how do I generate more traffic to that offer?
Mhm.
This is, I want to say exciting, but it's not. It's too simple to be exciting.
I mean, it's it's easy to like ask yourself like, is this gonna work? But it's like it already is starting to work.
Yeah.
Like I asked one question that turned into $1,000. So I don't know how well it will work for cold traffic, and that's what I'm really looking to test.
Mhm.
Is a question a blunt enough option that if you just post it enough times, you can do the math of I need to post this question, the right question, this many times to get this many leads.
I think like this is definitely going to work. It's just a question of how it's going to work.
Mhm.
So I think it's different because like your level of question is like, do you want me to build an audience for you? That is a bigger ask than do you want to make money online? If so, just sign up to my
Mhm.
newsletter. It's a different level.
Right.
So it's like for me, it's like for cold traffic, I'm pretty sure it's going to work pretty well because it's a question that most people are going to answer yes to. And all I have to do is sign up to a free newsletter. So
Mhm.
it's like it's not a big entry fee. Like it's not a big ask. For
Mhm.
you, it's like, okay, you make way more every time someone says yes and signs up. But I don't know how easy it's going to be. So it
Mhm.
might just be a question of what is the right audience to ask that question to. I feel like the question itself is the right question and it is going to work. It's just a question
Mhm.
of how, not how, but where do I ask it to, or who do I ask it to? Sorry, but
I wonder if we could do this like on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, where it's like you're just posting some variation of the question.
I think, ooh, Okay, because you know how it's like for long-term business or like business growth and audience building and everything, it's like I want to set up a YouTube channel.
Mhm.
It's like that's gonna be it. Every question is gonna be like a version of that question. So instead of like, do you want to make money online? It's like, do you want to know
So,
how to make $1,000 per day? Do you want to know how to launch your YouTube business? Do you want to know how to do this? Do you want to know how to do
mm,
that? Then there's
mhm,
like 2 links in the description. One is, hey,
mhm.
here's the product on how you can do that. And if you want more information like this, sign up to my newsletter.
Yeah, 1K a day. Honestly, it doesn't feel that hard. I think what's gonna be hard is like, what are all the pieces that need to be there to make it predictable?
Hmm.
And that is like, I'm not sure, but I can ask, I can leverage my network. But I think if we can figure out what are the pieces that need to be there. Mhm.
And I love the fact that we're going to be testing this with 2 different business models. Yours is
Yeah,
more like a high ticket offer. Mine is more the low ticket offer. Although it can also be the high ticket because once they're on the newsletter, every once in a while I can promote something where it's like, well, hey, this is a $2,000 program.
a question a day is 1K a day. No, that's that it rhymes with it. Wait, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Uh, an, a question a day can generate 1K. That's not good enough. It's
I see where you're going.
1K. It's like
A question a day can get you a vacay.
or 1 question and a VA is equals 1K a day.
Ooh, I like it. Okay.
I mean, if a VA is like what, $300, $500 a month, it's like that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, have we been idiots not using VAs until now?
No, because we didn't have any system that would have been like worth paying anybody for.
But can launching the business be that simple? Of like, we have this
I feel
business.
like I feel like all I have to do is do this until the end of the month. Just throw
uh,
this very, very specific mud at the wall, like in one spot. And it's like, if I make any more sales, like absolutely just pay a VA. Like go post this everywhere you can find places that will allow you to post.
But imagine you get 10 clients this month.
Crazy.
Like it would be possible if you find the right audiences and you just post that question. It's
Mhm.
like you could easily do that.
Yeah. I know what I'm gonna post today. All right, I gotta go. Whew. It's been a
I'm not quite
marathon
sure
session.
exactly what we talked about because we talked about so many different things, and I can't really summarize what it
We
was.
had
But
our heads up our asses for like the first hour and a half of the conversation, and then we're like, let's quit. And then we started float
I
chaining.
mean,
It's just like,
we're comfortable there because we've been living there for most of our lives.
yeah. But yeah, it's
Ah,
like
home sweet home.
I don't know what it is about like it feels like it's not gonna happen. And then when you really quit and then like flow starts happening, it just like goes on its own. It's like, what is this?
I think that's the beauty of floating. It's like there's always that process of 1 or 2 hours of like
Mhm.
talking about crap, and at the end there's always like, oh my god, that was so cool.
What if we What if we just edit our podcast, like cut the first half of the podcast off? Just start off in the middle of it where they're like,
Oh,
I have this amazing idea. And like, that's where we start every time. I have this
or
amazing idea.
what if we have both? We have like the normal episode that's nothing interesting, and then the edited episode, which is something interesting. That require, I think that
Be
not
like,
good. It requires work.
nothing interesting or interesting thing.
Or like at the end, we just like edit the description. It's like, if you want to skip to the interesting stuff, go to 1 hour and 59 minutes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, if you tagged it as like,
Oh,
chapter,
just have like chapters like nothing
what if you
interesting,
had,
nothing
what
interesting.
if you
nothing
did like a
something.
podcast? What if you did a podcast that was like a choose your own adventure? That's like, you can, like, how boring do you want this to be? Oh, what I want, like a little, like a boring slider. It's like, pick your level of how boring you want the conversation to be.
Or we just automatically like have it throughout the conversation. So it's there throughout the video, just like going higher and higher, lower and lower.
Yeah. It's like level of interest. I'm doing dishes to, I have nothing better on Netflix to watch.
And it's like it's like super high, and one of us makes like a dumb joke and it just like plummets.
All right.
Man, this as usual has been amazing.
1K a day, dude. No,
I'm wondering.
I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna write this down because there's something weird about writing these goals down.
Ooh. 1K a day keeps the smart ass away.
2 weeks notice. I'm gonna write this right across from here. My goal is in 2 weeks, we're gonna have a system for generating 1K a day.
Dude, I love it.
Let's see. How can we create a predictable system to generate 1K per day?
Dude, I'm just realizing if like, no, sorry, once we prove this, and once we get to the point where we can just get VAs to go out and like get people for us, we could get to the point where we're both like jumping on like 3 calls a day and getting paid like $1,000 per call, and we're making like 3,000 per day. So it's like we're making like $90,000 per month. Like we could get to that point very quickly.
Can you imagine, like, if we just get to do this like all day, just be idiots and and
I
people pay
feel
us to do it?
I feel like once we validate this, and it's like, all right, 1,000 is just like the starting point. We could quickly scale up and be like, all right, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000. It's like, hey, if we're charging 5,000 for like a 1 hour conversation to generate that one question that sets up their business for success, I'm very happy working just 1 hour per day.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know what I was gonna say, but this is crazy. This is like ridiculous.
You know, the beauty of floating and the ideas generated from it is that we've gotten to the point where we can sense what is going to work and what's not going to work before it even happens.
Mhm.
It's kind of like the process of floating of like, we're doing this without really realizing what we're doing, but we can sense this is the right thing.
Oh, I
And
know
like,
what I
I
was
can
gonna, I know,
sense this is the right thing.
I know what I was gonna say. The fact that we're recording this as we're creating it, like we went from like, we're just gonna do a stupid show where there's no point to it. And we prove that being stupid creates income. Like we can literally have a brand that, I mean, our actual podcast could be our sale, our calls, like asking people, all kinds of stuff that has nothing to do with their business, nothing to do with the question that we're going to ask until we get to the point. Like that's our process. And if you want that process, it's $1,000, come on the show.
Dude,
And if you're just going to watch the process and figure it out for yourself, great. We don't care.
I just realized, because we're talking about, YouTube, it's like, all right, what if we were like the first people to hit like 1 billion subscribers? Like, what if that was the wrong thing? Because like, basically we're like, we want subscribers because we want to generate money. What if we don't need subscribers to generate money? Because the ideas we generate within this show just make us a ton of money. So it's like, hey, once this works and we set up our businesses and we're making $1 million a year, it's like, we've made $1 million a year from this show, even though like 20 people watch the episode.
Can you
So
imagine? Like that's the best argument for like, you don't need a giant audience. Like you just need the right people watching you. Okay, maybe we can use this question thing as like, what's the one question we need to ask to get 1 billion people to watch our show? I mean, maybe that's not the outcome that we actually want, but like, I feel like this is such a powerful, because you're asking a question, looking for a question, it sort of like bypasses all of the normal, it's like you're creating this weird, like self-fulfilling loop that just like, it's almost like magic. It's like magic sauce.
all right, should we use the power of questions for the episode? Like, should each episode be its own question?
I think we're asking the wrong questions instead of doing stuff. I don't know. I do need to do some stuff. So
You're right. You're right.
All right, let's see ya.
Wait, do you need to do stuff?
Well, I told Ryan I would, so.
All right, fair enough. You probably should.
All right, let's see ya.
Bye. All right. Enjoy your thing.